The following podcast contains opinion and commentary protected under the First Amendment and fair use, as well as public records and freedom of information laws. The content may include adult themes, adult concepts, and adult language not suitable for all audiences. For the safety of all, no viewer should ever engage with, interact with, seek out, or contact in any way persons being discussed, including those under criminal prosecution, and especially those that state,
"It's not like I've gone and killed somebody!"
Viewer discretion is advised.
Come gather round, you filers bold, with W-2s and nerves. New, click to edit off gold. Your coffee's cold, your patience thin, but darling, that's where we begin. You've chased deductions through the night, debated wrong versus technically right. But hush, don't cry, don't storm, don't fret. You haven't filed your taxes yet. So dim the lights, ignore the dread. That letter marked important, read. The clock is ticking, yes it's true. But tonight we make a show of you. Life is a tax day cabaret, old chum. Come to the tax day cabaret. Put down your forms, forget your stress. We'll itemize your happiness. Life is a tax day cabaret, my friend. Audit or dividend, so laugh a while though pockets are bare, and toast to the brave who dare declare. You swore this year you'd be prepared, receipts all filed, expenses shared. But shoebox dreams have come and gone, and somehow April snuck along. That mileage log, a work of art, a guess, a hope, a solid start. But who's to say what's wrong or right when numbers dance at 2 a.m. light? The forms are long, the rules obscure. What once was simple's now a blur. But strike a pose, pour one more drink, and let the IRS just think. Life is a tax day cabaret, old chum. Come to the tax day cabaret. We'll sing of credits lost and found while spinning in a paper bound. Oh, life is a tax day cabaret, it's clear. One day a year we fear, but here's the twist, the grand affair. We're all just bluffing there. What good is saving every dime if you can't laugh at filing time? The forms will wait, the due date too. Well, maybe not, but play it cool. So raise a glass to Schedule C, to chaos, hope, and maybe free. To every soul who's late but tries, and claims their dreams as write-offs. Wise. Life is a tax day cabaret, old chum. Come to the tax day cabaret. Admit defeat with jazz and flair, and file it close enough with care. Life is a tax day cabaret. Hooray! You live to file another day. So stamp that form, take one last bow, and pray they don't come knocking now. Yes, life is a tax day cabaret, and we survived it somehow.
Welcome everyone back to my channel and your favorite cubbyhole on the internet. Happy tax day, everyone. Hi, chat. How you doing, chat? Have you all filed your taxes? Have you met the deadlines? Did you file for an extension? Have you done all the things the government requires to remain in good standing as a citizen making money? I did. Mine are done. Mine were done last weekend, thank heavens. They're simple. They're not too complicated. Although, if I'm being honest, and why would I not want to be honest? It's difficult these days. It's difficult these days, staying in the workforce anymore. Both Jeep Daddy and I are figuring out life. We're kind of in different situations with our professional lives, but we're going, golly, are we going to be doing these jobs for much longer? Or are we going to get pushed out? We don't know. So that's why we come on here, folks, to have a little group therapy about paying taxes, about living life, and all those other good things. And oh my, if this were a good high-paying cabaret, we would have lots of entertainment. We would have a blowout and a bash as big as Megan Fox and her birthday, which is today. And she's got bazillions of people tromping through her studio and everyone extending birthday greetings. I will send my greetings to Megan Fox remotely as well, since I didn't get an invite to Megan Fox's birthday, but I'll get over it. And a happy 50th birthday to Megan. I remember when my sister turned 50 a number of years ago. It was a big deal. Rolling over a zero can be a big deal. So Megan's wearing it well, I think. That's not a dig. It's true. She's just so effervescent. So we wish her all the best, all the very, very best to Megan Fox. So kudos to her. I saw some challenges happening about raising money for other things and people doing river dances before I had to hop on the old computer here and get ready for my own production. So I didn't get to catch all that. It may still be going on. It may go on all night, knowing Megan. I really don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see. I'm just going to check in with chat a little bit. Hi, E-Broccoli. Hi, Wallace. Let's see. Hi, Razmataz. Ms. Wings. Greetings. Shanta, JC321. Hello. Bruce the Moose. Good evening, sir. Let's see. IB is here. Greetings, IB. Jen the Couch Fairy. Great to see you. And let's see. There may be more that stroll in. I know it's Wednesday. Wednesday's not a typical day for me, but I went, you know what? Darn it. It's tax day. I want to have a little fun with this in the midst of all the uncertainty of the future, because you only live once. And if you can't have a little fun along the way, what's the point, right? So we're going to have a little fun. And guess where we're going to start, folks? Oh, I'm so excited. Maybe it's because it's Megan Fox's birthday. Or maybe it's just because it's Wednesday. I really don't know. But there's been some breaking news today. Breaking news. Do I still have that stupid button? I do. Oh, there's been breaking news today. That's right. Breaking news. Breaking news on Megan Fox's birthday. There is breaking news. Well, it was breaking news earlier today. Because of time zones and all that other stuff. Breaking news for me tends to be a little bit later than people in other parts of the world. But breaking news earlier today. We have information about Laura Michelle Owens' bankruptcy proceeding. Oh, my dear heavenly God.
This will get awkward.
Oh, yes, it will get awkward. It will get awkward indeed. And, and just so nobody's left out, we will talk about them both today.
It's douche canoe and pregnancy faker.
That's right. We will talk about douche canoe and pregnancy faker. And, in my opinion, bankruptcy faker 2. So we have a full evening ahead of us. Although, I don't know, it may not take that long. Because David Jingris hasn't been writing a whole lot in voluminous form lately. He made some promises. Those of you who like to follow David Jingris or observe him from afar, which is how I like to do. The further away, the better, in my opinion, observing him. And with lots of internet protection, he hasn't posted some of the things he said he was going to post. And some things have happened with him today, too. So we've got sort of duplicative breaking news. Is it duplicative? No, it's not duplicative. It's not duplicated. But breaking news times 2, I suppose. And it's a pity Jeep Daddy has to try and cater to corporate daddy this evening. He may wander in later. I don't know. He said, I've got to do some work stuff if I want to keep my job. So I may or may not be on tonight. And it's a pity. I get it. I'm working myself to the bone at work right now, hoping that I'll have a job next month. But never mind. Never mind. He's doing the same thing this evening. So it's, life can be tough. Life can be tough. So we're here to have fun. And we're here to start with the breaking news about the bankruptcy. Okay, so let me just not belabor this too much further, huh? Let's see. I got to kick this out of the studio. Thank you very much, because StreamYard can be asshole sometimes. So let's see. There we go. We want this one. Oh, yes, we do. And I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. This is off the Twitters. This is off at Clayton's Justice on Twitter, or Seeking Justice for Victims of Laura Owens on Twitter if you want their full name. You can find them quite easily. They posted this earlier today. I was at the end of my lunchtime getting back to work when all of this great stuff started hitting, and I went, oh, thank you. It's Christmas right before my live. Otherwise, I was just gonna have to talk about David Gingras and some other things. But we'll start with this stuff because it's great. It's great. So what happened, you say? What are we talking about? If you don't subscribe to my notifications, hit... Wait, which way? This way. It depends on which screen I'm looking at, the camera screen or that screen. Hit the buttons, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, or if you're Laura Owens or David Jingris, you'll hit the thumbs down. I know who they are. I see them. I see them in my analytics in my studio. But most people, I think, prefer to hit the thumbs up button. And I'm digressing again. That's the way we roll here, folks. I digress all the time, and Jeep Daddy drags me down with him, but he's not here, so I'll just digress myself. I was watching Bacon Bears earlier today on her live, and God, I love her. I've got to get her on my show, and I'll be on her show. That's what I've got to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but she gave me a great compliment today, and I was just like, oh, squee. She cracks me up. She's hysterical, and I just, she's a great energy, and she's so authentic. Another person I would give free hugs to any day of the week. Any day of the week. Anyhow, she gave me some compliments, and I was just kind of, oh, that's so sweet. I'm just kind of like hanging out a little bit in your chat, and you know who I am. Oh, yeah, little tear in my eye. I'm like, oh, what we are doing here has a modest effect, and we're grateful to that. So, it was just fun. I'm gonna have to reach out to her if she reaches out to me before I reach out to her. We need to do some collabs together, I think. I don't know how that works, but she's great. So yes. Anyhow, she's been talking about Laura Owens pretty extensively. She's been reading through the ADRE complaints. Another channel calls it Andre, and now I've got that stuck in my head. The Andre complaints, all the realty stuff Laura Owens was trying to engage in against Clayton Echard. But Bacon Bears has been reading that on her channel. That's my opinion. Go check her out. She's amazing. And it's hysterically funny. It's probably some of the better reads of stuff I've seen in a while. And it is just so real to her to read all of that stuff and be like, what? It's just great. Great to watch. Great content, great entertainment. Go see Bacon Bears, please. Oh, I wish I had half her audience. Speaking of audience, digression number 4 for this evening before I get into anything. Isn't this terrible? It's like catching up, isn't it? And it's only been a few days since I was last on. We have engaged the YouTubes and the money-making features. I thought about it, and as I thought about, some career uncertainty looming, which may or may not go well or go badly. I don't know. My crystal ball doesn't work very well. I decided, well, you know what? We've reached the goal, the hallmark to start using YouTube money things. So I've started doing the work, and things are starting to turn on. They're turning on more than people getting BJs after some gummies. But never mind. So soon, I'm not sure how soon. I don't know how long it takes, but those of you who don't have the pay to not have advertisement versions of YouTube, you may start seeing ads on my channel now. Really, it doesn't make a lot of money as far as I can tell. If I get dollars by the end of the year, that would be a bonus. But hopefully soon you will start seeing the options to, if you so desire, send things like super chats, because those are great. Those are hysterical. And if I can figure out how, at some point in the not too distant future, to do things like super tips, not super tits, not these, but super tips, and have some fun with some AI voices. You hear other notable content creators like Megan do that. I find them absolutely hysterical, and I have to be careful at work listening to people, because sometimes those super tips are zingers and I lose it, and everyone's looking at me like, what the hell is going on? You need to turn that off and get back to work. I like to work with some background noise, like good content creators. Oh my god, look, it works, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, my little heart. You guys are amazing. Ronnie G, thanks for the 5. Congrats. Thank you so much, Ronnie G. And no thanks, MK. Also, thank you for the 5. Take my money. Bless you. Bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Look, you have broken the dam, folks, of us being more legitimate. And one of the things I learned, as I digress further into, being a content creator and this sort of thing, you can't hype people's channels without the revenue stuff turned on, which was a little bit of a shocker to me. I'm like, oh, this is kind of douchey in a way of YouTube, but that's how they built it. So I wanted the hype feature just to, kind of get more out there. So I wasn't paying much attention. It didn't occur to me, because everyone has super tips and all that sort of thing. It's like, oh, hype might only be for people who've actually got the revenue stuff turned on. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try and make this easy on ourselves, and let's just see. Let's just see how this goes. So we'll see. If hypes start happening and popping up, I would be all too honored. Is that the right way to say it? I would be tickled. I'll put it that way. I'll be tickled to receive your hypes, and we could get the good news out there even more, because Bacon Bears was so tickled that she told me that someone told me how much they like you, and I need to look into you. And I was just sort of in a little bit of a guffaw, because I've barely got 1K people. We've been at this for a little while. We've only been talking about Laura Owens for about a year and a half specifically. But it's like, okay, this is going somewhere. This is going somewhere, and it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a little bit rewarding. It's slightly intimidating, to be honest, because now it's like, I've got to keep up in my game and start catching up to everybody who's, Megan and Tug's stature, who have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm like, holy heck, how do you keep going? How do you keep doing this? And the thing is, you just keep doing it. And as you so do, you build more community, and all you people are just wonderful. Oh, and IB, IB said to thank you, IB, for the 5. All the best to you as well, IB. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You are. I think some of the best people in the world are around this story and in this community. Whether you are part of the Clayton Echard crew, the Clayton Echard cult, the JFC cult, whatever it is, the victims of Laura Owens following, wherever you find yourself on that branch of community, for at least this case, you're amazing. You're amazing. And someone was saying on the Justice for Clayton Reddit I was looking at earlier today, is there anybody that supports Laura other than family and Gingras? And the responses were pretty epic. I was tempted to start reading some, but we'll save that. We'll save that for later if we desperately need it. Hopefully I don't. Oh, let's see. Shanta JC says, love your Ella voice. I laugh every time. Oh, thank you so much. Which one? The digital voice or my fake Laura Owens voice when I'm just reading stuff? We try to mix it up a little bit. I get a little bit bored just being myself sometimes. When you're reading long stuff, especially things that go on for 28 pages, like the realty complaint, the ADRE stuff, and all that back and forth from Laura Owens. It's like, you got to break this up. It's just too much, especially when she starts getting into sexy talk, and it's like, I feel creepy.
This will get awkward.
Yeah, it gets a little awkward. So you gotta mix it up a little bit, right? It's all part of the balance. It's all part of entertainment, and all those other good things. And my sinuses are reminding me it's springtime. Just ignore that. I'm going to have to pause for a minute and deal with my genetic defects. You know, that's the joy of getting older, as I'm sure Megan can attest to, as she's made 50 years. I'm close. I'm closer to 50 than I am 40. Ew. I hate getting old. It's just awful. It's just awful. But we keep going. We keep going, and thanks to all of you in chat and all of you in Replay Crew. Hi, Replay Crew. No, I've not forgotten you, Replay Crew. I love you too. Love you too. I know you'll see this later eventually. I know many of you are in other parts of the world. So greetings to you, and thank you also for your involvement in making this place. My little cubbyhole on the internet, the charming little thing that it is, especially on this Tax Day Cabaret. Okay, have I said enough? Have I made enough announcements? I think I have. See, it's a good thing Jeep Daddy's not here. We'd go for another 45 minutes just talking about stuff. Just talking about stuff. Okay, but we've got more important stuff. Back to the breaking news. Oh my gosh, back to the breaking news. Oh, and Bruce has distracted me already. Bruce says, wait, you guys don't talk about butts and seller-financed real estate at the exact same time? We might. I can neither confirm or deny that, Dr. Moose. Well, you're around here enough. You know what goes on here. Bruce is everywhere, everybody. If you didn't know that, I don't know how the man does it. Bruce is everywhere. I see him in everybody's chat. It's like, how does he do this? I know, he probably just lives on a computer all day like other people I know. I can't, but I sort of live vicariously through my phone and playing YouTube. And sometimes, making some comments here and there when I have a second and I don't have things in my hands. But it's fun. Bruce is everywhere. Bruce is everywhere. He's magical. Bruce is magical. He can just be everywhere all at once, and I don't know how he does it. It's a skill. It's a gift. It might actually be magic. It could be. I don't know. I really don't know. All right, back to the breaking news. I know. Have I buried the lead enough already? Back to the breaking news. Laura Owens' bankruptcy got dismissed. Yes, I know. Some of us are disappointed she wasn't going to get the smackdown by Queen Jennifer Jimo, the DOJ trustee, who was grilling her and raking her over the coals in the last debtor's exam. We covered this. I think Jeep Daddy was even on when we did that one. And all of the dirty details of all the things she didn't consider as income, our income, and all the things she didn't include and didn't reference in her bankruptcy, and all the sources of, in-kind income that she has. I almost want to watch it again just for good cause, but I'll save it. I'll give you the Smash version. The Smash version? If you want to be a Smash. That's a show. I like that show, by the way. I wish it lasted more than a couple seasons. Laura Owens wanted to be a Smash, and she got smashed. She's getting smashed by the justice system. The mashup. If you didn't notice, I snuck in something on Monday. I made a little mashup of someone named, it's a nickname. Nicknamed Douche Canoe.
The fucking Douche Canoe.
That guy, some mashups of Douche Canoe and Pregnancy Faker.
It's Douche Canoe and Pregnancy Faker.
Yeah, I set it to some dance, some EDM, some beats. I set a little back and forth between David Gingras with Rachel Juarez and Reality Steve, and Laura Owens getting absolutely crucified by Queen Jennifer. And we set it to some music. That's hiding in my my playlist now. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you may have commented on it already. Thank you for the comments, by the way. You're always welcome to make comments, especially you Replay Crew after the fact. The live chats over that way, they'll do their thing. We'll check in on them. Make sure they are misbehaving. We don't want too much behaving here in my chat because otherwise it gets dull. But I won't make the mistake like Jeff did. May he rest in peace. That being Legal Vices. Megan brought this up, and it's the only reason why I'm referencing it. It was like the last thing I saw before I had to just get off. Dear Jeff. And talking about having cold sores and his chat going absolutely nuts about face herpes. Only in chat. Only in chat would that happen. It's hysterical. So it's like, you know what? Just let chat be chat. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay, so back to boy, so much to catch up on. It's been a busy day. Oh, let's see. Clones. Is that what it is, Eat Broccoli? Is that Bruce's secret? Clones? It could be. Half-ass fashion, good to see you, says Bruce, the omnipresent. It seems that way, doesn't it? It really does. Brenda Hogue says, Bruce is indeed everywhere and possibly magical. I think that comes with being a moose. It could be Bruce the magical moose, and he's just being modest. And Miss Wing says, Bruce has a great thought process. Bruce is brilliant. If you haven't figured that out, being around here enough, folks, Bruce is a genius. He's just modest. And he says, Bruce himself says, my phone just tells me there are people streaming, and I have that on my phone while I'm doing other things. That's what I do. I don't know why I don't get all the notifications, but as Megan says, YouTube is assho. And it's more often than not, I don't know anybody's on till 30 to an hour into their live. I don't know what it is. I think it's just a YouTube thing. Shanta JC, Queen Jennifer. Yes, indeed. Jen the Couch Fairy. Good question, Jen. Oh, it's dismissed, or DOJ Jennifer recommended for dismissal. Excellent question indeed. We'll get back to it. It'll clarify everything. I'm just all a Twitter today. For some reason, I don't know. I've spent the last week fretting over work stuff that I've lost a lot of sleep, so it might be delirium setting in. We'll see. I don't know. Or I'm actually kind of getting a little more sleep, going, what's going to happen is going to happen. I just have to be, well, ready for the punches should they land. But yes, let's see. We'll get to that in just a second, Jen. Cracked Pepper MDLY. Gosh, if I don't look at the chat, I have to look into the window. Legal Vices, yes. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Legal Vices. So many people know him well. I started watching him as a result of this case, and by all counts, Jeff was a stand-up guy and practiced in a very unique field of law, being in maritime law and living abroad, from what I understand. So I get the loss, because he's kind of a luminary in sort of the law tube space, for lack of better words. Bruce says Jeff would have been amazed at everything that's happened in this case. I think he would have been dumbfounded in a way. Like, oh, look at that. Look at what's going on here. System's kind of working. Look at that. I think he would have been impressed. I'm not sure he would have been shocked, because he started calling out a lot of things, especially with lawyerly conduct or lack thereof by someone's civil attorney. But Jeff was a stand-up guy. Bless him. And it seems by all accounts his son Connor, Vice Baby, is as well. No thanks in case says, we see Bruce because we're there too. Yes. I know. We would have no idea if none of the rest of us were there either, would we? Oh, let's see. PCB Amy says, he was great. So funny. Yes. And if I had pets, I would have pet cam too, but I don't. And although, damn it, I should have restricted Jeep Daddy. I could have used him. I could have used Jeep Daddy as my pet cam. It's like, okay, Jeep Daddy's not coming on until we get a certain level of super chats. We need more super chats for Jeep Daddy to come on. I'm not letting him out of his cage until we have super chats. You know, that could have been an approach. I didn't think about that. I tend to be brilliant too late. My brilliance is, I've got delayed brilliance. Oh my goodness. See, Bruce says notifications are not all the best. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. All right, everybody. Okay, I need to stop watching all of you in chat and get over to the material, or I'll be here all night. We're already 30 minutes in. It's crazy. Okay, so we have the stipulated motion to dismiss the case filed by Jennifer Jaimo of the Office of the U.S. Trustee on behalf of U.S. Trustee. And you know where this is going. You can see above, and this was dated April 15, 2026, so hot off the presses. Very hot off the presses. And I'm sorry I can't make this bigger because it's Twitter's, but we'll read for you. We shall recite for your listening pleasure, whether you be watching or just listening. I tend to do just a lot of listening of YouTube and a little less watching. I treat it like a podcast. It works for the most part. So here is the text. This is the motion, the stipulated motion to dismiss with prejudice. Yes, it is still just a motion at this point in time. But as I told somebody else in a comment section somewhere, I forget now where now, because I get around too. I can't help it. I need to be entertained in my workday when I'm doing noisy things that are repetitive. Making all those piñatas takes some distraction orally. Not orally with an A. But yes, so what was I going to say? Golly, I've derailed myself. That's terrible. That's terrible. See, don't tell him. Don't let Jeep Daddy know I'm derailing myself. He'll never let me live that one down. No, he already knows that. Well, who am I kidding? Oh, yes. I was telling someone in the comments that I can't imagine that the bankruptcy court would not approve this motion and let it go. Now, there's a chance, I think it's a small chance, that they would say, no, let's not have a motion to dismiss. She said some things that weren't kosher. Let's deal with that. I suppose it's possible. I mean, I'm not an attorney. I'm not even a legal scholar, according to troll account that I believe is David Gingras, Marigold Clark. I'm not even a legal scholar. So, who knows? Who knows? But I would imagine because the DOJ has a certain amount of weight in courts, I would imagine they would accept this motion to dismiss by Jennifer Jaimo for the U.S. DOJ Trustee's Office, or whatever it is. And for a lot of reasons. Not only is she making the motion, but Laura Owens has already signed this, hence the stipulation. Laura Owens has stipulated to dismiss this. And my theory is we don't believe that the deposition that Laura was supposed to have with Queen Jennifer occurred yet. So we think this is, shall we say, mitigation for what could happen if Laura were to attempt to proceed in this bankruptcy proceeding. So I think because Queen Jennifer, perhaps feeling a little bit generous, I don't know, said, you know what? There's problems here with your bankruptcy. And, we talked about this in the last hearing. You can dismiss this or you can come for a deposition, but I think there's a lot of problems here. And, it's probably not going to go well for you if you keep trying to go down this path. And I think Queen Jennifer would be absolutely correct about it. Ooh, Ms. Wing said signed from San Diego? Ooh, could be. Doesn't really matter to me. Carol Key, greetings, nice to see you. Says the following. Oh, this is great. Attorney Hubby said it's a possibility the feds can bring her a charge on perjury and bankruptcy fraud if they wanted to, regardless of whether her bankruptcy was denied. And my question back to Attorney Hubby would be, does that include if it's a stipulated dismissal? Does that still hold true? Dismissed. Okay, yeah. For bankruptcy was, denied, dismissed. Potato, at least to me. I know, I'm not a legal scholar, I'm not a lawyer, it's fine. So, and Carol continues, so maybe there could still be justice. Oh, we all hold a glimmer of hope. We hold that little candle of hope that maybe this won't be the end. But for those of you who've been around for a long time, and I mean since my beginning on this channel, starting this channel, where I was covering it was very brief. It wasn't extensive coverage. Goodness knows I could have squeezed a few more episodes out of it, but I was just getting my feet under me. I was covering a case involving a podcaster, an ex-Mormon and post-Mormon podcaster called John DeLynn. He runs a channel called Mormon Stories Podcast. He has a 501c3 organization that does pretty well in what they get donated to them for what they do. And their whole raison d'etre, shall we say, what they do is They go out and they get stories of people in and out of Mormonism. A lot of those stories on their podcast tend to be people who have left Mormonism, or that being the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, the two guys or two girls, the missionaries who have their little name badges, 2 by 2, we're going door to door. You need to see the musical if you haven't, folks. It'll give you some insight into Mormonism. John Dehlin talks to people in and out of Mormonism, mostly people going out or transitioning out of Mormonism. He is is he a PhD psychologist and that sort of thing? Is he actually a doctor? I don't think he has medical credentials specifically. I think it was a PhD, but he did some degree of practice in sort of the psychology space. And he did some studies about gay people and suicides and Mormonism and all this other stuff. So he's done some social work. But his podcast focuses on people in and out of Mormonism, and they could go for hours in their interviews. And he'll ask them their story, their life story, their Mormon story, how they got into Mormonism, were they born into it, what they believed at the time they were faithful, what transitioned them out of it, or where they are. That's his whole story. And he had this woman working for him. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. He had a woman working for him, first as sort of like a business manager, and her name was Jennifer Ruth Camp. She was first kind of the business manager, and then she was starting to appear on camera, and she was always kind of this weird, emotive person that would just sort of randomly cry and start trying to make these interviews with other people, all about herself and her problems. It was very bizarre. And on John Dehlin's podcast, this woman was trying to get more and more and more. So she started off as sort of a managerial role, and then an on-camera role, and then she was trying to produce stuff, and she was just kind of asking for more and more and more. And she became a problem. She became a problem not doing her job managing things. And when they were starting to have meetings looking at whether or not they wanted to retain her or let her go, she started making accusations against John Dehlin, the host of this podcast and sort of the figurehead of the organization, the nonprofit. She started making accusations of sexual impropriety and all these other things. And she made claims that it's all caught on camera because it's a studio. They have a studio somewhere in Utah where they shoot these episodes and film them. But they also had some security footage, and she made all these accusations that he was being inappropriate. And it turned into this whole big thing. And I'm trying to reduce this because it went on for a little while. And it turned into this whole big thing where she started a podcast of her own with the sole intent to engage in defamatory commentary and content against John Dehlin. And she tried to sue him for a bunch of stuff, letting her go inappropriately, claiming he had engaged in sexual misconduct and all this other stuff. She starts claiming all these things that never happened. She claimed she had evidence, but magically that evidence just sort of magically disappeared. Oh, I accidentally deleted it, or something happened to it and I can't find it now. Does this sound like somebody you know where evidence is claimed to exist and doesn't produce? Yeah, I have proof of pregnancy right here. I went to all these doctors, and then there's nothing other than what Laura Owens fabricated. So what ends up happening is, as Jen Camp, after she got canned by the organization, and she was producing defamatory content about her ex-employer, she was caught in a group of women whose sole purpose was to defame John Dehlin, this content creator. And these messages, as well as her produced content on YouTube defaming the guy publicly, started getting circulated. So what happens? He takes her to court for defamation. It goes to a trial. She starts getting all of this stuff saying, well, I've got the content right here, Judge, and she never produces. So at the end of the trial, when she's blubbering, she blubbers in trial like Laura Owens. When she's up against the ropes, oh, but Judge, it was a blah, 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 blah. You know, we've seen the hysterics from Laura Owens. This woman, Jen Camp, does the same thing. She does the same thing. As soon as she's getting called out for being a lying you-know-what, I have to use better words now. I'm monetized. I have to clean up my act a little bit. I'm going to have Jeep Daddy clean up his act a little bit to stay monetized. She blubbers like Laura Owens. It's discovered. it's discovered she's spoliating evidence. So while they're in trial, all of the stuff that they had on her, and good thing they captured it all. They captured everything about all the defamation Jen Camp was doing. It was all recorded. It starts disappearing off of her website. I mean, her YouTube. Well, whatever. It starts disappearing off of her YouTube. This secret women's group where they just sort of defame him, and then some little things leak out. That's starting to get scrubbed by everyone being involved. As the trial concludes, it becomes very clear to Jen Camp that she's going to get a judgment against her because the judge found her guilty of defaming John DeLynn. And those of you who've been around for a little while know that defamation is not an easy proof except when you've got evidence. And they had the evidence. They had the evidence of this woman defaming this guy. And they had it in court. And it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. There's more to it. See, I mean, crazy people, I swear, these people are cut from the same crazy cloth. They really are. Let's see. Jen the Couch Fairy asks, how long ago was this? I covered this sort of at the beginning of my channel, so late 2023, early 24. So if you go back to the bottom of my videos, and I do mean the bottom, that's not a Tony Robbins joke. Oh, where's my joke button? I wasn't prepared for that one. See, sometimes it happens spontaneously. If you go to the very bottom, I have a couple episodes talking about judicial abusers, and I talk about Jen Camp and Laura Owens. They were together. They were a package deal in the early days of my channel. So I cover this. Okay, back to where that story is, and then we'll come back to Laura Owens. She's not going anywhere. We can talk about Laura Owens all day if we wanted to. I'd rather not. My voice gets tired eventually. So it's clear that Jen Camp has lost the trial. She's got a ruling of defamation against her, and they set another hearing date for sentencing. So what happens in between the end of that trial and before the next hearing date for sentencing happens? You'll love this. She divorces her husband on paper. They quick claim deed their house, which is worth about $1 million. It's like a house and farm. So it's, I don't know, it's sort of rural Utah. So they had a big chunk of property and a house on it. So her husband, a fireman, she gets divorced from. They quick claim deed the house. She quick claim deeds the house to her husband. He tries to put the house on the market. And then she moves out of state with her husband to Western Washington State. I understand Gig Harbor, Washington. And not only that, you'll love this part. This is the best part. She files for bankruptcy as she's leaving Utah. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? She files for bankruptcy in Washington State, knowing that there's a judgment about to be entered against her in Utah. Because someone had told her. I think she claimed some friend who was an attorney, a bankruptcy attorney or something, or something like that. She had some sort of on the side help from somebody who either led her to believe or she led herself to believe that if you file for bankruptcy, you convert all your assets, you move them to somebody else, that you become judgment proof. Would you like to know what happened, folks? I'll tell you more. I'll just finish the story. I mean, this is old news. If you really want to go back and see my coverage of it before I got my sea legs, you're more than welcome to. I would absolutely appreciate the watch hours. Sure. You can go hear my coverage of it. So she files for bankruptcy in Washington, Tacoma, Washington specifically, as I recall. They start digging through all of her stuff. They go, there's something wrong here. You know, you've got like a pending judgment against you in Utah. Do you know about that? Oh, oops. So what happens is while she's trying to file for bankruptcy in Washington State, they reach a little bit of a technical snag because she filed prematurely. You cannot file for bankruptcy, apparently, in Washington State unless you're a resident for, 90 days, I think it was. And she had filed for bankruptcy prematurely to file as a Washington State resident. So that caused some technical snafus. But ultimately what happened with her bankruptcy is it too, as I recall, and I would have to go back to my own videos to remember exactly how it all concluded, to be honest. But as I recall, it was dismissed as well. And she settled out of court for John DeLynn and the Open Stories Foundation, the nonprofit organization that his podcast, his YouTube runs under. They settled for about $1.5 million is how that ended, give or take. I think it was 1.5. 1 point something million, it might have been 1.2 or 3. I'll just round up because after you reach 7 figures, who cares, right? It's only money. It's monopoly money to me at that point. So after all of her antics, after all of her false, fraudulent, baseless accusations against John DeLynn, and all of her antics of trying to divorce her husband on paper, they moved together, by the way, as far as we know. They moved in together, even though she divorced him on paper. They moved together into some apartment in Western Washington, as I recall. He got a new job as a firefighter in that community, as the story goes, and she had to settle. She had to settle, and she owes him money. She owes the guy money. It's... See the parallels? I mean, this is what got me started in all this, is a bunch of crazy women making accusations against men that were completely untrue. And I don't need to use LY words to add value or weight to that, but they were untrue. And that's how I started. So I covered Jen Camp and Laura Owens together at the time. And boy, we've come a long ways, haven't we? So yes, so that's my epic Jeep Daddy style rant for the evening. We haven't even started the document, and we're 46 minutes in. Oh my God! Okay, back to these guys.
It's douche canoe and pregnancy faker.
So yeah, if you want to stroll down memory lane, in my early days of my channel, where I made a good go. We did okay. When you're doing produced videos where you record it all and you're editing the life out of it, it's a little stale. This is probably far more engaging in a live than my produced videos, but I was being so careful. It's not that I'm being careful now, but it's more conversational, and it's great to have real people in chat to talk to. So it's nice. It's nice. Oh, look. Hi, K-Dubs. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Minnie T says, she's so funny, and you are too. I can see you doing a show together. The music and scary voices today were out. I know. I was having flashbacks listening to Bacon Bears lose a demonic Laura Owens voice. Where's mine?
I'm demonic Laura Owens. Bow to my will, Clayton Eckerd.
Yeah, we've got it too. It's great fun. I tend to like the other one. Where's
There's also this one. But Clayton, I want you to date me with intention, and then I'll buy houses from you.
That one's fun too. So we've got some variety here. So I think Bacon Bears and I are I think we get along famously. I think maybe we could do a show together. I don't know. Oh my God, Wallace. Oh, sweet blessed heaven. Wallace, thank you for the Canadian pesos, the Canadian Tim. This money is in support of adverbs, justice for LY words. Some of us just like to talk a bit fancy. Yes, we do. I'm okay with LY words. I'm also okay with other things. You can hear Jeep Daddy using his words, his 4-letter words. He's smarter than he looks, even without using 4-letter words. Oh, that was a burn, and he's not here to defend himself. Shame on me. Bruce says, did someone say adverbs? Oh, settle down, Bruce. Settle down. Okay. I mean it this time. Back to paperwork. We've got to do this. We've got to do it. Stipulated motion to dismiss with prejudice from Queen Jennifer Jimo. And it's dated today. And again, I'm sorry I can't make it bigger. I don't know why the Twitters... I don't know why it doesn't let you do it. It's weird to me. And I didn't have time to screen capture it and do all that fancy stuff. So we just have to do it this way. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Hopefully by now, everybody, you've got your beverages or treats or dinner of choice wherever you are in this. Here we go. The United States trustee, UST, and creditor Clayton Eckerd. So Clayton was involved. He was aware of this, and he must have approved as well. They were being generous, I think. But now they can go out. Now they're going back to square one. It's not a bad thing. It's just, this is kind of a reset. So don't panic, anybody. It's okay. United States trustee and creditor Clayton Eckert, by and through their respective undersigned counsel, and debtor Laura Owens, debtor, in quotes, proceeding pro se, that being Laura Owens, because David Gingras was not able to get his foot in the door, much to my delight. I know, that sounds so vindictive, doesn't it? Hereby stipulate and move the court for an order voluntarily dismissing the above captioned Chapter 7 bankruptcy case with prejudice to refiling for uno años, subject to the terms and conditions set forth herein. It reads like a great novel, doesn't it? I'm so excited. I was racing home today to get ready for this. Oh, when it landed, I wasn't disappointed that Laura's not getting raked over the coals by the DOJ. She's got enough fish to fry, and I think they will get fried. Never mind. Number 1. Debtor filed her voluntary Chapter 7 bankruptcy petition in this case on December 8th, 2025. See docket number 1. I thought it said number 7 for a second, but no, it's docket number 1. Debtor filed her petition pro se, and no attorney has entered an appearance on her behalf in the administrative bankruptcy case. Oh, boo-hoo. Baby Jingy no get in. He tried. He tried to enter in a limited capacity, and we don't know if that was ever ruled on, or if, because this isn't proceeding further, it's just not on the table. I don't know, but he didn't get in. And as memory serves, he was trying to get in for 60 days. David? We'll play that. We'll play that between clips. Between segments, we'll get there. Number 2. On January 9, 2026, Clayton Eckert filed an adversary complaint against debtor Laura Owens, which is proceeding under case number 2:26 AP 00007 BKM or whatever it says. We don't care. Those are administrative details as far as we're concerned. Number 3. On February 12, 2026, the court granted the UST's application for Federal Rule Bankruptcy Procedure 2004 examination. See docket number 36. Oh, someone's talking about Carol. Oh, okay. Because I'm watching StreamYard, Carol, I'm not seeing the highlights, so forgive me. I'm not watching this directly on the YouTubes where highlighting occurs. Why StreamYard doesn't highlight things that are directed to people, I don't know. But I will bring this up. Thank you. Don't know if you saw my answer, but hubby's answer is yes. Since she submitted false testimony, fake documents, and lied under oath, it's still possible for her to get prosecuted. Ooh. Okay, that's enough of that. Thank you for that. Thank you for poking at your hubby's professional capacity while we're on YouTube together. Hopefully, I won't need a lawyer anytime soon. I might ask for recommendations. Okay, never mind. But I'm not surprised. This is the thing, because she's on the record. It is testimony. It is prosecutable if she is committing perjury. So it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Carol also says, hubby is so annoyed, LOL. I only ever ask legal questions when it comes to this case. Oh, bless him. Bless him. Oh, that's great. Some lawyers are generous. Some lawyers guard every second of their even tangential expertise behind a paywall. So our thanks and appreciation to him for lending some information, and through you. I won't say vicariously. That sounds like a put down, which I don't mean. But thank you for updating us and utilizing the resources you have, I think is the correct way to phrase that. And per Laura Owens, we want to say things correct. Number 4. On January 26, I'm reading it wrong line. On February 23rd, 2026, that's what it should say, the court entered a stipulated order extending the UST's deadline to file an adversary complaint against the debtor to deny discharge pursuant to 11 U.S.C. subsection 727. See docket number 43. Number 5. In order to resolve the issues presented by the bankruptcy filing and potential denial of discharge action by the UST, if I can get my tongue to function, the parties have agreed to the following. A. Voluntary dismissal. Debtor agrees to voluntarily dismiss her above-captioned Chapter 7 bankruptcy case pursuant to 11 U.S.C., etc. B. Agreement not to refile. Debtor agrees that she will not file a bankruptcy petition in any United States bankruptcy court for a period of uno year from the date of entry of the order of dismissal in this case. The bar period, it says in quotes. C. Consequences of violation. Reinstatement of this case. In the event that debtor, Laura Owens, files a bankruptcy petition in any U.S. bankruptcy court during the bar period in violation of paragraph B above, lowercase I, this case shall be automatically reinstated upon the filing of a notice or motion to reinstate by any creditor, the Chapter 7 trustee, or the UST, the U.S. trustee. 2, or lower Roman numeral 2, debtor agrees that she will not oppose any notice or motion to reinstate this case filed by any creditor, the Chapter 7 trustee, or the UST. Next page. 3, the adversary proceeding filed by Clayton Eckert in this case shall likewise be reinstated in the same procedural posture as it existed at the time this case was dismissed, and 4, upon reinstatement of this case, the UST shall have 60 days from the date of entry of the order reinstating the case to notice and conduct a Rule 2004 examination of debtor, and to file a complaint objecting to debtor's discharge pursuant to 11 U.S.C. Wow. The deadline set forth in this paragraph shall supersede any previously applicable deadline under Federal Rules of Bankruptcy, P4004. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. D. Dismissal of adversary proceeding. The adversary proceeding filed by Clayton Eckert shall be dismissed without prejudice simultaneously with the dismissal of this case. E. In the event of reinstatement of this case pursuant to paragraph C above, Eckert's advisory proceeding shall be reinstated as provided in paragraph C3 above. F. Retention of jurisdiction. This court shall retain jurisdiction to enforce the terms of the stipulation provided for herein to reinstate this case upon a showing by any creditor, the Chapter 7 trustee, or the U.S. trustee, that debtor has filed a bankruptcy petition during the bar period, and to enter any orders necessary to effectuate the terms of this stipulation. Effective dismissal. Except as provided in the stipulation, dismissal of this case shall have the effects provided under applicable law, including 11 U.S.C. sub 349. H. Current deadlines. The parties agree that all deadlines currently in effect, including the May 27, 2026 deadline for the UST to file an adversary complaint against debtor pursuant to 11 U.S.C., shall be held in abeyance, pending the court's ruling on the stipulated motion. In the event that the court denies the stipulated motion, the parties agree that the UST shall have 60 days from the date of the denial of the stipulated motion to reschedule debtor's Rule 2004 examination and file an adversary proceeding to deny discharge pursuant to 11 U.S.C. So either way, she's on the hook. Oh, I need some maniacal laughter. Oh, let's see. Does that one work? We need maniacal laughter. Yes. Oh my gosh. Authority each party represents and warrants that the person executing the stipulation on behalf of such party has full authority to enter into and be bound by the terms thereof. Entire agreement, this stipulation constitutes the entire agreement of the parties with respect to the subject matter thereof and supersedes any prior understandings or agreements, whether written or oral, between the parties relating to the same subject matter. Wherefore the UST, Clayton Eckert, and debtor, Laura Owens, jointly request that the court, upon notice and hearing, grant the stipulated motion and issue a stipulated order of dismissal to be lodged after notice and hearing, incorporating the terms of parties' agreement. Submitted respectfully today, April 15, April 2026. Aline J. Lahinsky, U.S. Trustee, District of Arizona. Also Jennifer Gimo, there's no signature there, we don't care. And Laura Owens, 4/15/26, pro se. And also we have Marcus Ressinger of Winnick Law. Oh. All right. And okay, in the 2 of 2, okay, that's the same thing. So I've got duplicates. All right, we don't need that. Isn't that amazing, folks? Isn't that just amazing? Oh! Okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean? That sounds like Martin Luther, doesn't it? So this means that in addition to the stipulated motion to dismiss, what does that mean for Clayton Eckert? Kleckard. You know, that's what we could say, reducing it. Kleckard, what does it mean for Kleckard? Justice for Kleckard. What does it mean for Clayton Eckert? Oh, there's more going on in chat. Okay, first a chat check. Let's see. Hey, South Florida Thrifter, greetings. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Oh, I'm so excited to see people here today for some reason. It's just been sort of a celebratory day, which after the week I've been through, oh my God. I'll take the good days anywhere I can get them. And if that means being on live more, so be it. SFT says the 1 year probationary like period is actually hell because now they'll be watching her every financial move. Wow, this is almost worse. No, it is worse than having it accepted right now. I know. Isn't it great? Let's see, Karaoke says, let's see, South Florida Thrifter, 100%. Not only that, but because she has been charged with 14 felonies, she's going to be looked at under a microscope with everything. And we are here for that. Oh, yes, we are. SFT, we love you, Hubs. Thank you. Yes, we do indeed. We're certainly grateful to spouses and partners who, even if it's armchair, add to our knowledge. You know, unlike other people who lie through their teeth on their professional law office blog page. At least that's my belief. He's lying to us through his teeth. Yeah. Okay, let's not digress further. Let's see. Now, MD Thomas says, now, will LO take the plea on the felonies or not? That is the next question, and you are correct about that. And it's possible. It's possible her criminal defense attorney, Christian Luters, may have said to her, this thing could be a problem for you. Maybe see if you can get out of it. Maybe. Yeah. Carol also says, he said he hates the stress Laura brings me, but finds it comical Laura keeps digging her heels in. He loves this drama as much as we do. It's funny. Attorneys kind of like that, I think. The business attorney I get to work with on, unfortunately, way too often occasion, and I think I'll be working with the business attorney again soon. He's around for the drama too, and he kind of gives me little reports of things he observes about some of the clients he's had to engage in on behalf of our business and protect our interests. But you never know who's watching you, do you? Do you? No. Hi everybody. Hi people that don't like me. That's the only troll feeding I will do today. When is he joining our chats? Says IB. Isn't that great? He would like to remain invisible. I don't blame him. I would too, but I can't help it. My therapist said finding my voice is a good thing. So this is one way I am fulfilling my therapist's intentions for my continual growth and development as I age, as I very quickly reach 50 myself. Deb Peterson says, I don't think she'll take a plea if it requires her admitting any fault. Yes. Well, she could admire fault too, but I'm quite sure she doesn't want to admit fault. But I don't see how there could ever be a plea where she's not going to have to admit fault. I just don't. Because when you make a plea, folks, as those of you who watch way too much YouTube like I do know, when you make a plea deal, you are admitting to guilt of something. That is the condition in every case I have seen. It's not like, okay, well, take a plea deal and you don't have to admit anything and we won't throw you into jail. No, a plea, and again, I'm not a legal professional or a scholar of any kind. Based on all my observations, pleas require you to admit some kind of fault and whatever sentence the judge sees fit to impose based on that plea deal. And in many cases, I won't say all, I won't say most, but in many cases, judges do not have to necessarily accept a plea. They don't necessarily have to accept the terms of the plea. Judges have a bit of discretion in how pleas go. And I don't think Judge Jeff Reeder, who's currently presiding over the complex case management conferences or hearings for Laura Owens' criminal trials, I don't think he's going to hear the full case. It sounds like there will be another trial judge. It's not clear if that's been scheduled officially, who that trial judge could be yet. I think we might know once we're closer at maybe sort of pre-trial stuff. So, it's interesting to watch this all unfold, isn't it? It is. SFT says, "Aw, y'all, someone's committing to a long-term relationship with Laura. It's the U.S. Treasury." Oh! Okay, that was a good one. That was good. Brava. Even Miss Wings. Yes, Miss Wings got two. Boring Tax Lady says, "I guarantee she's going to wait until the last possible moment to accept or decline the plea deal." I agree. If she's going to do it at all, she's going to wait till her back is up against the wall. That's just how she's reacted so far. However, she has shown a scintilla of intelligence not continuing with the bankruptcy. That was wise, not going further with bankruptcy. It's not totally clear from the documents if Laura precipitated the request to dismiss, or if it was if there's been some back and forth from Queen Jennifer and Laura saying, you know what, let's schedule this. And then Laura goes, I want out. It's like, you're in over your head. Maybe we'll throw you a bone. I don't really know. I should think that between the last hearing, for which we have audio, and this stipulated motion to dismiss, that there wasn't a little bit of conversation happening, if not to schedule the deposition, but to say, you're in deep here, girl, because she was supposed to be amending her bankruptcy stuff. We heard that in the audio. It's like, Laura, you didn't talk about this business, and you didn't talk about this business, and you didn't talk about how much in-kind expense your parents are given towards your living needs, and this, that, and the other that she didn't think to put on her bankruptcy forms that David Gingras helped her out with, because that's what she said. And if we want to believe anything, we want to believe that David Jingris did, in fact, try and help her land the bankruptcy proceeding, because he said he was suggesting her to file bankruptcy, and it just goes away. And you know what? I'm going to take a slight. It's not an intermission, but I'm going to play this for you. If you didn't hear it, this is new. This is new stuff. As I change some screens around, we're going to have a little bit of entertainment. And this is my highlight reel of the bankruptcy stuff and David Jingras telling her she should file for bankruptcy, because then all the stuff with Clayton, all the court stuff just goes away. I don't think it's going away. He is a terrible lawyer, in my opinion. I don't think it's just my opinion. I think it's in many people's opinion. He's a terrible lawyer, but I certainly believe it. So for your entertainment, as I shuffle a few more things about, this little ditty that happened and dropped on Monday.
Offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
In the end of the video, you were talking about, Laura, I hope that you never pay Clayton. You could file a bankruptcy. Either way, there's no legal requirement for you to post bond if you don't have the money to be collected. Didn't Laura admit to having $200,000? Where did that money go? What do you mean she doesn't have any money? You don't want her to pay? You're telling your client, hey, ignore this payment of $150,000.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
Laura does not have any money, okay?
I mean, I haven't ever in my life had like a 1099 or W-2 job, really been supported by my family.
Her income has basically been destroyed, and she blames JFC for this. She says that JFC has, harassed her podcast advertisers to the point that they won't work with her anymore, and her income is basically zero now. And she never said that she made $200,000. What she said was that was what the podcast made, and she split that with her mom.
Testified on March 1st, 2024, that the horse business, Quartet, made $144,000 of income, and that was split between you and your mom. Do you recall testifying to that?
So the $200,000 that she said at the trial, she no longer has for whatever reason.
She was saying that was her income from the podcast that she was doing with her mom.
But you didn't report that on your bankruptcy, your sworn bankruptcy statement.
Her income is zero, basically zero. Her assets, they are what they are. Clayton is entitled to go and look for that. Dude, he can collect his judgment all he wants.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
I said to her a while ago, just if you file bankruptcy, you don't have to deal with this anymore. You just push that red button on your desk that says, boop, I'm done, bankruptcy. The entire case goes away. Clayton's ability to do anything to her in court anymore stops the minute she files bankruptcy. And she won't do it. And she said, I'm not going to do that as much as it would bring her relief.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
But don't say that I'm encouraging her to ignore an order. She's not sitting on $10 million in cash, and I'm just saying to her, go hide that. She doesn't have the money.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
Don't say that I'm encouraging her to ignore an order. I said to her a while ago, just if you file bankruptcy, you don't have to deal with this anymore. You just push that red button on your desk that says, boop, I'm done, bankruptcy. The entire case goes away. Don't say that I'm encouraging her to ignore an order. If you file bankruptcy, you don't have to deal with this anymore. And she said, I'm not going to do that as much as it would bring her relief.
But you didn't report that on your bankruptcy, your sworn bankruptcy statement.
And she said, I'm not going to do that. And she said, I'm not going to do that. And she said, I'm not going to do that.
David was my attorney, David signed the pleading.
The fact of the matter is you authorized him to sign attesting that this was truthful, but it turns out it's not.
She has become a friend. I talk to her often. I have spent a lot of time with her, way more. I mean, you guys have no knowledge that I do as far as contacting with her personally.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David?
I talk to her often. I have spent a lot of time with her.
David was my attorney. David signed the pleading.
I have spent a lot of time with her.
The fact of the matter is you authorized him to sign attesting that this was truthful, but it turns out it's not.
Maybe David could offer some clarification because he helped me answer that question. David? 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 David?
Okay, that was just a little fun. That was just a little fun. My greatest hits of David Gingras saying that Laura won't file bankruptcy even though she could push the red button and it all goes away. And as Bruce said, how did that work out? How did that work out for you? Did it work out at all? No. No, it did not. Not a bit. Hi, Danny. Good to see you. Well, it's almost greatest hits. That's my latest creative endeavor as I was wallowing in my professional sorrows at the time. It's like, you know what? I need to feel better about myself. So let's make a smash up. Why am I calling it a smash up? A remix of David Jingris on Reality Steve talking about bankruptcy and telling Laura to, well, it seemed like he was telling her, suggesting to her as her civil attorney that if she filed bankruptcy, it would just go away. It didn't work out for Jen Camp, and I was quite certain that when Laura Owens and Mommy and Daddy filed for bankruptcy, it wasn't going to work out for them either. Because when judgments are entered against you, they tend to follow you. They do. And again, I'm not even a legal scholar or a legal professional. Somehow I know that. That's bizarre, isn't it? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'll press the red button. Bruce says, now's the time on Sprockets when we dance. Yes. Dance away. I feel like I should be doing some more dancey tunes. Hi, Turdatter Kashani. Good to see you. Welcome in. Boring Tax Lady says, I'm going to start calling Laura the bus driver. Jen was doing 80s dancing. I wish we could see that. I need some like Megan Fox, I don't have the hair. I need the hair. Some Megan Fox dancing, right? We need some of that. E. Broccoli's going to ask for David in the club. That's great. You might find one. Maybe not that David. At least in your case, I would hope not that David. Yeah. Find a better David. Yeah. Maybe find a Dave Neal. That could be a good one to find. Yes, indeed. Deb Peterson says, proof that they always tell the truth and stick to their word. Momo Big says, and how old are you? I'm not telling. That's for you to figure out. Report that to the state bar. Do you think he has enough problems with the state bar? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, guess where we're going next, folks. We are going. I told you we had enough to talk about today, even without Jeep Daddy. Oops, I already did that one. SFT. Oh my God, this is effing brilliant, Emmy. Oh, thanks. Well, it was, something to distract myself from the troubles of my real life. It worked out, and it's getting some attention, some likes. It's good. I'm not doing it just for the likes. It was just like, you know what? If this bankruptcy thing keeps going, and if a certain douche canoe was going to keep trying to stick his foot in the door and insert his oar into the water, it's like, you know what? We need to compare some things, because he said, as her attorney a year ago when he was on with Rachel Juarez and Reality Steve, I told Laura she could file for bankruptcy, but she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. Even though it would give her all the relief she wants and it would just go away, she's not going to do it. I think that was bullshit. I think he sat there with the entire family, that being Laura and Mommy and Daddy, and said, well, you could file for bankruptcy and it all goes away. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know that for a fact. I'm speculating in that regard. But how else would we have gotten to both of them, both Mommy and Daddy and Laura Owens, all in the same house on the same property, filing for bankruptcy all about the same time? I don't think it's a coincidence, especially when we have audio and video footage of David saying to them, or to her at least, probably to them and her, I don't know, whatever the directions were. If you file bankruptcy, Clayton can't do anything to you. It goes away. He's welcome to look. He can chase after that all he wants, but when you file for bankruptcy, it all goes away. But it does not, because it does not go away automatically. You don't just file bankruptcy and go, ha, you can't touch me. And do I want to talk about this? Yes, I may as well. I may as well, because we'll get to this anyhow. It is my belief, and it is my opinion, that part of his being douche canoes,
the fucking douche canoe,
part of his MO was to find ways to make her judgment proof and to make the family judgment proof. And it is my opinion that he, as he said explicitly with Rachel and Steve, to file bankruptcy and it goes away. It's my opinion that he explicitly gave them the idea that if they just do it, they're fine. They'll be judgment proof. Clayton can't come after them. They'll be safe. They may be in some other trouble with people coming after them for misusing their money and misusing credit and running out debts till they're brown in the face. I'm trying to find a metaphor and I'm struggling. I think he contributed. I think he suggested, and I think he did so as a practicing member of the bar. I don't think it was just, well, as your friend, I'll say this, but as a lawyer, I can't say that. That would be insane. I mean, it's possible it could be. He could have said, no, I can't say this to you as a lawyer, but if you file for bankruptcy, it'll all go away. That would be something to get testimony from him on. And wouldn't that be fun if there was some testimony from him about what he said about bankruptcies? And it could be corroborated with video evidence that we just so happen to have. And yes, so, I couldn't help myself but put those two things together of her saying, well, David did this. He signed the pleading and David helped me fill out this question. And David saying, well, I suggested her file bankruptcy, but she's not going to do it. You can't make this stuff up. It writes itself. It writes itself. And they did what they did. And may they reap what they sow is kind of my thing there. Okay. Next part. Part the next. We've had our little diversion. Let's see. I should get that off the studio. There we go. It gets fussy, so I have to remove things. Let's go here. Let's go here to this guy.
The fucking douche canoe.
Yeah, let's go back to douche canoe. Him specifically, rather than generally. And again, don't mind my defective allergy sinuses. David Jingris, hearing. PDJ 2026-9010. This is a disciplinary hearing being scheduled for one David Gingras with a presiding disciplinary judge. In his disciplinary proceeding with the Arizona State Bar. There's a hearing, folks. Well, so, I didn't expect, despite his protestations on his blog page, that senior bar counsel Jim Lee was just going to write a collateral. Is that the right word? Maybe not. Sort of the summary judgment on what David admitted to, and poof, okay, boom, done, it's done. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. I'm not sure David was necessarily expecting that. That's interesting. But there is a hearing scheduled, and it's too bad these dates don't quite line up with other people's criminal dates. I'm not going to go to Arizona twice, especially not in the summer, so I'll have to stick to the main event rather than the sideshow, just because things have been expensive lately. So I'm pinching my pennies in hopes that I can still salvage coming down and watching a criminal trial. Unless, of course, someone does plead out at the last second, and I hope. Oh, God. This is the thing. I think someone could wait till a jury is impaneled to plea. I'm not sure if she can in this case, but I've seen stranger things happen where people take the plea right on the last second. But that pisses off a judge once they impanel a jury. So I'm hoping that once the deadline comes, should the deadline be the one that's, I think, at the end of this month, or if the prosecution decides to let them have a little more time. Christian Reuters, as you recall in our previous live where we showed the last complex case management conference with Christian Reuters and Laura Owens present and accounted for. Someone was not allowed to appear virtually again. Boo-hoo. Where there was a request to extend the plea deal time frame. And he was asking, I think, what was it, for 45 days, so roughly mid-May, as I recall. We'll see. The state, I don't believe, has yet responded to that request to extend the deadline for the plea bargain. We'll have to wait and see. MD Thomas says April 24, if not extended for the plea deadline. Thank you, MD Thomas. You are amazing. See, this is why I like chat. It's a lot to do all of this with all the cameras and stuff, and try and keep all the information in your head and form cogent and complete sentences while you're watching cameras and clicking buttons and doing all the things, and trying to be intelligent, or at least listenable at the same time. It's a lot. So trying to keep all the facts in one's head, it's a lot. And with this case, and being with it as long as I have, it's a lot of mileage. Yeah, I know. Since I wasn't on the front end of this, like Megan and Dave and some others, it's still a lot of stuff, even though I was absorbing along with them, and I was there on the live in the comments when the Fiverr logo was discovered. I was there for a lot of it. I just hadn't really taken the plunge to talk about it on my channel because it was still a little bit dangerous. I mean, it's still a little bit of a risk now. Any day, I kind of expect to see someone handing me an envelope on my front door, and it's like, well, okay. I get no birthday cards from anybody from anybody trying to serve me with a summons or a subpoena or anything like that. And I would like to keep it that way because if they do, I think they're going to lose. They've got a very good chance of losing if they try and come after me. This is why I like to make little cuts and edits of things. So when I say I believe someone was trying to commit bankruptcy fraud and had help from an attorney, there's substantive evidence to that case. This is why we do things in a certain way. Not just to protect our butts, but also to be somewhat entertaining and factual and enlightening and educational. So yes, David Gingras has a hearing with the disciplinary judge. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a public event or if it's a private hearing. I have no clue about that. I would hope, since other people listened in on the previous telephonic conference, that this is in fact a public hearing and one could attend. So I'm wondering if there are people that would, who are going or planning, I should say. I'm wondering if there are people who are planning to attend this disciplinary hearing of David Jingris. So Turdadder Kashani was asking the question, so the bankruptcy was dismissed? Wow, what's the story? You must be coming up from the rear, and that's okay. You're halfway to replay crew, but semi-live. You'll get caught up. It's stipulated dismissal motion that is before the bankruptcy court. And they have yet to decide if they want to take that stipulated motion or if they're going to rake her over the coals further. We shall see. I would imagine, it's just my opinion, as someone waltzes into the studio like the stray tomcat they are, it's my opinion that they will probably take the stipulated motion to dismiss. Oh God, there he is. You have a pulse.
You gave me the button, and I can just invite myself in.
But it helps me because then I don't have to deal with hitting all the things to get you in. It works better. So it's like, just let him in.
But I enjoy making you work just a little bit for for the entertainment that I provide.
Hey, I have been working
everybody.
my shekels off. Guess what happened? We have, if I do the math correctly, where's that stupid thing? Now I've got to find it. We have made some super chats tonight. Well, I have made some super chats tonight. But I will include you in that because you're part of this craziness. And people like you just as much as they like me. So it's all fair game. You know what's going to happen, chat, is now Jeep Daddy's going to want me to start paying his dinner bills when we go out for dinner.
That's no different than how it is. That's no different than how it is now. Just to be for the record, like Echoes gets to abuse me, and therefore I force him to buy me Indian chicken nuggets. But he also gets to get some of them himself too. So
it is not abuse when you are a willing and wanton participant. I don't
need your bullshit. I have had to deal with corporate bullshit for the past 2 days. I don't need your level of bullshit at this point.
Mango custard money. Oh God.
Thank you, Wallace. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Wallace, for the 10. For the Canadian pesos, first Jeep Daddy super chat. Thank you for that. See, look, now you're loved too. The love is being shared today.
I know. I raced home after dinner to see if Echoes was still on so that I could, come in here and just crash the damn party.
You would be so proud of me. I rambled for 45 minutes before I got to the first thing.
Wow. Okay, so it's not entirely my fault that I...
No, not this time.
Yeah. Okay. Did you provide the excuse that I had asked you to provide as to why I was absent from tonight's
yes,
adventures?
and I echoed that by saying, we're going through some professional struggles right now, both of us, and it sucks. I didn't get specific, but I said rather matter-of-factly, I'm not totally sure if I'll still have my job by the end of next month.
Wow.
And I talked a little bit about, there may be lawyers getting involved in some of that. I didn't get too explicit, but...
Oh, dear.
Yeah, well, when small business rides close to the edge and people aren't paying their bills and then making stinks about how they shouldn't have to, not meeting their contractual obligations, it causes some operational problems.
Yeah. Yes, it would. My business daddy is a little bit bigger than a small business, but
only by a small amount. Just teensy.
But yeah, they act as though they're poor.
Oh, that's kind of you, IB, and thank you for that. I'm not saying it looking for a pity party. I'm really not. But it's right here. It's, you guys are kind of out here a little bit. It is right here because I'm dealing with it every morning. And now there's a deadline for them. And if they don't meet certain deadlines, so that we can quite bluntly stay in business, we're going to make a last ditch effort with our attorney to compel that. And if not, then it's like, well, okay, it's been a good 20-something year career, and I will go back to school, get my graduate degrees, and find something more productive to do. Or at least that's my plan. So it's not like I'm not without a plan, but I would be lying if I didn't say that I've lost a lot of sleep in the last couple of weeks, actually.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm certain I'm growing ulcers, but one of the things that keeps me going, and I'm not just blowing smoke up anybody's ass, is doing this show and having you lovely people here and talking about people with, frankly, much bigger problems than I've got. Yeah, it sucks. And if shit goes down sideways, and if things come to an end, I think I'll land on my feet eventually. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult because, when you lose your job and you're trying to chart a new direction, it's hard. It's hard. And if that requires going back to school to do it, it's even that much harder because I am debt free, which I've been very proud of after my very expensive private school education to get my bachelor's. I paid that off as fast as I could, and I was very proud of myself doing it before I hit 40.
Well, and
it was like $60,000 of student loan debt.
Yeah, and student loan debt is like some of the that's the stuff that just like that can weigh on you for the longest time. And like I was even talking about this with some of my professional colleagues. It's like my student loan debt wasn't extensive because I sort of failed out of the system that I was in. I also got trapped in the for-profit education ring, also known as the University of Phoenix. I don't mind like putting them on blast because they can go fuck themselves. But that student loan debt, which was only 4 figures, God, it felt good to pay that motherfucker off the moment that I got that payment letter. And I mean, this trashed my credit. I'll just be full straight up with everybody here.
Oh, wow.
Completely destroyed that and piddly debt. But I mean, it was like income was, limited and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
And those things went into collections like multiple times over. And it was embarrassing to say the least. And the moment that I finally found a number after getting, some coin together to be able to pay it off and got that settlement number and the final document that was like, this loan has been paid off. And it was just like, that was so satisfying in comparison to even like paying off my car or like getting out of credit card debt. Because like the student loan, that is just the absolute worst in my less than humble opinion.
Yeah. And if I were to do all the math and what my bachelor's education cost, it was probably damn close to 6 figures if it wasn't actually. Yeah. And that was only 3 years. I got it done in 3. Actually, I was pissed it took me 3 because I already had my 2-year degree. And I thought, well, okay, I'll do 2 years here and then I'll finish up and do 2 years there. And no, they're like, oh, no, you don't have enough this, that, and the other. So it cost me an extra year, which was not part of the budget plan. So I got screwed an entire extra year finishing my bachelor's, which I was not happy about. I mean, I enjoyed my time there. Excellent experience. I wouldn't change it.
That doesn't even, and probably doesn't even account for the interest that you had to pay on the loan either, because it's not just the tuition, it's the tuition and all that stuff, plus all the interest that you pay for like, I don't know, 60, 70 years. And then like, you're dead and you still have to fucking pay interest for it. It's like ridiculous.
And not to discount a little bit of support I got from parental people and the grants and the scholarships I did have.
Yes.
But still, I was still walking out of there with about $60,000 in student loan debt. So, note to self: weigh your options. You may not necessarily want to go to a private school.
It can be a little on the
especially one that's
side.
expensive, and it's only gone up since then. So I'm like, oh God, I'm glad at least that one's done. But of course,
there's some theories about college or university and just like the whole idea that it's not even worth it, given like they just churn out like business people, or like they do a certain shtick, but it's not really about learning. It's like it is something completely. It's very nefarious, depending on who you talk to about that.
Yeah, and my dad, had a post midlife crisis career change. Working in one segment of healthcare and then going back to school, getting his master's and certification, and then working in another segment of healthcare. So it's like, well, okay, it can be done. But of course, he was married. My stepmother was, they were still getting income. So he was doing, I think, more non-matriculated stuff. It took him a little while. It seemed like it took him maybe 3 or 4 years to get his master's. But they did it. So it's like, okay, I'm by myself. That makes it that much harder, but it's not impossible. It's just not going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I certainly don't want to just sit on my laurels and scrub toilets. It's like, you know what? If push comes to shove and the winds of change are blowing where I'm going to have to change careers, I may as well set my sights a little higher this time, get the grad work done,
Mm-hmm.
find a job that speaks to me in the field of choice that I'm thinking of,
Mm-hmm.
and have the healthcare, have the dental. I'm getting old and I'm starting to fall apart. I'm not Megan Fox, 50 years old yet, but the genetic defects and the resulting medical problems and expenses are piling on. I can't deny it any longer. It's too late.
No, I mean, and that's just like, I get it, because like I'm in a similar position, and that's one of the, like, I joke with my friends such as Echoes and others in other fields that in circles we run in. And it's like, yeah, I'm a corporate sellout, but like I've been I joke about that. But I also have been able, that has enabled me to have good healthcare. It's been able to enable me to remain debt free, and learn habits around budgeting. And one of the things that I like, the reason why like I brought up Jen's comment is that I don't have a college education. Like what I did, like formal anyway, I've got some credits between my U of Phoenix bullshit, whatever the fuck that was that I was doing then, but also my time in the military gives me a few, credits and everything. But I've been halfway successful, I suppose, without that, because in IT and even in security, it's not about like how many degrees you have. Never mind the job descriptions that are out there that like entry level security analyst requires like a PhD and 8 fucking years of experience. Cause like, that's just, I don't understand that. And that's like a whole nother Jeep Daddy rant that I'm just not going to go down right now. But I don't have that, but I have the chops and I can actually do what they ask or like what the job requires, more or less. And that's okay. So to Jen's point, yes, some places don't, and some jobs don't need that. Experience and hands-on is far more valuable than some $200,000 piece of paper that you have. Unfortunately, some fields require a $200,000 piece of paper to go do the things.
And some, like some mutual friends, will never get that back, which is the disgusting part of it.
Yes.
Jen also says she's got one, I assume a kiddo using a grad degree and the others in a skilled trade. And yes, some people find that. And some skilled trades are very lucrative these days. And technically, what I do now is probably considered a skilled trade, but it's certainly not something you'd waltz into on your own.
It's kind of like this half, like you sort of need that kind of apprenticeship, sort of work your way through things. And like, you have to have some raw skill. Obviously you can't just like,
I don't know how to use a screwdriver. What do I do?
Yeah. I'm a bus driver, but can I go do this thing? Like, no, that's not going to work. No shade on bus drivers, but
Wallace also says, "Dear Lord, get yourself health coverage. Y'all don't have enough of a social safety net." Not. Yes, and currently I do with my present job, but it's probably just my innate fears going crazy, which I tend to be a little bit of a nihilist when things go bad. And that's just how I am. I just plan for the worst, because if you're ready, then you're ready. And if you just kind of go, oh, well, it'll be fine. I don't have to worry about a thing. It'll work itself out. You could get screwed. I've had that happen too much in my life where I was a little bit too optimistic and got royally screwed. So
blame our common paths out of high demand religions for that naivety. I would also say that's probably more like a pessimistic sort of view, more than nihilist. I mean, I get it, but
Well,
like
it
the
feels like the world is
pessimism is
ending.
there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
pessimism,
valid.
like textbook, but like it's also like the nihilist of like nothing matters because everything is going to be tragic, blah blah blah. Yeah, but I get
Yeah.
it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So, I'm just kind of hoping that smarter things happen and I can, I can at least kick their can down the road for a little while longer.
Look,
We'll
it's
see.
either
I mean,
that,
we
it's
really
either
don't
that,
know.
or it's either that, or Echoes is going to have to get on a live stream and make a proposal to become my spouse so that he can get on
Are
my
you soliciting
benefits.
me again? You've got competition, buddy. You've got competition. Big
So do
Bad
you.
Marcus. Big Bad Marcus,
So
who
do
pops
you.
up in the channel once in a while, is already propositioned to marry me.
Does he have benefits from Big Corporate Daddy? Because
I don't know. I haven't bothered to ask. It's in one of the previous live comment threads somewhere, and
yeah, fair enough.
I didn't see it for like a week and a half. I'm like, oh, I didn't get this notification. And he just says, "Marry me," and I'm like, oh,
well,
like, oh,
hey,
don't mind
look,
if I do.
you do you. He's probably like way
he's
more attractive than I am, so it's fine.
I don't. Well, I wouldn't. What I've seen, which isn't a whole lot, I wouldn't necessarily say no. It could work, but
Okay.
I don't think they live nearby, so that's a problem. Distance is a thing.
There's that. I don't know. We could just come to an arrangement.
Yeah. Let's see. Dana says, "Confess, I went to private and don't regret." I don't either, Dana. It was a good experience. Either way. I mean, as a matter of fact, I would have ended up at a private school. I was being pushed into BYU by family because, of course, when you're Mormon boys, that's what I expected. My sister went to BYU. I had no interest whatsoever in going to BYU. I was also looking at University of North Texas because they were trying to develop a certain program that was in two areas that I currently work in. They were trying to just start an experimental dual degree program, essentially. And I was considering a full thing through graduate school there, but that program never quite got off the ground. The department head was so apologetic because I was getting ready to sign paperwork. I was like, oh, I have bad news to tell you. This is not going to happen, unfortunately, like we thought it would. So I went to where I went to, and I was looking at other places other than BYU.
Yeah,
My number one
I have
choice.
such an allergy to like. I see those stickers or like the embroidery on bags or something like that. Even like at my employer, just out on the
Or
road.
the cougar.
Yeah, the Y. The round oval.
Every time I see the cougar BYU thing, I'm like, oh, predator. Ooh, predators.
Oh, yeah.
Pedophiles.
And it's just like, oh my god, just spare me.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Wallace says, because Mormonism? ? Yes. Mormonism is the thing, unfortunately.
They do really, really push. After you do your mission, they want you, they will push.
Go to BYU and get your MRS degree.
Correct.
Especially for ladies. MRS, yes. Yep, the areas are working, kazoos and pinatas. Absolutely correct. That's all you're ever going to learn. Unless I get sued by somebody and it just all comes out into the open, which you never know.
Oh.
You never know. I made
Clearly,
a joke.
we have some catching up to do. You've been holding out on me.
Yeah, I've been hoping that things wouldn't go as badly as they have. But, yeah.
Well, there's always bankruptcy,
I'm in better
I guess.
spirits today than I was even yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit bad. Monday was awful. Most of last week was bad. My sleep score average has been between 50 and 62.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not been good.
Oh, mine's been absolute shit for the past couple days, but that's also because I've had to get up at 5:45 to make sure that I'm at corporate daddy's offices at 7:30 ish.
Ew. No thanks in cases. Push the red button. Would you like to know how many red buttons I have in this instance? You'd be surprised. There's a lot of them. There's at least a dozen red buttons I see right now. There's that one.
Steven Goldney.
Never mind.
You dumbass.
Okay, we have to let that one finish.
But here's the thing, Echoes. You always have bankruptcy to fall back on. Oh, wait.
It'll all just go away. All your problems go away.
Just
with
go
bankruptcy.
away?
It goes away. It goes away.
Although
See,
I feel like you would have a much more legit claim than some of these hats out there. like,
I would at least
no,
have a claim for unemployment.
I don't think you would be just like dismissed with prejudice or whatever. Like, just go away and get the fuck out of here and never come back for a year. Like,
I would
no,
at least have a claim for unemployment, which, I shouldn't say this. I'm surprised has not happened with Laura Owens, where she tried to, I've lost everything, I'm going to claim unemployment, but she's never received a W-2 or, any other paperwork, because this is tax day after all. This is the tax day cabaret.
Oh God, that's right. I finished
I
mine
know.
at about like 11:30 last night.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious. But like the good news about that is that
I'm going to have a talk with your therapist.
You're not allowed.
I'll try.
Yeah, I know you'll try, but no.
You need to talk to him about his procrastinations. It's like, no, it's fine. It's part of
My
the
therapist
ADHD. It's part of the...
My therapist is well aware. I have already confessed my sins. Thank you very much.
Yeah, every week.
But,
no, never mind.
Twice a week.
I won't divulge.
I've upgraded it twice a week. I'm just going to admit that right now because the corporate shenanigans and fuckery that I've got to manage has that's.
Oh, anytime anybody says fuckery, I always think of Shizzy Wiznut's little song. Welcome to the shit show every single day. A new flavor of fuckery. Everybody sucks, you see, and they're all dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, rock. It's great. Some of the
God, that's delightful.
Created in AI songs. They're fantastic. I was like, God, I really need that one. Shizzy can license that one to me too. I need to borrow that one.
Yes.
I need a bullshit song. Ugh, it's just awful. Bruce says the existence of procrastinations implies amateur crastinations. Well.
Crastinate.
Bruce, procrastination. Do you got it? Don't make me explain it.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. I got there.
There it goes.
I got there. Ding. Why do you fucking make me think at this hour? Like, God damn it.
I forgot to use my cash register button with the super chats. I'll see. That's a new habit, folks. I've got things to learn. A very Moose dad joke there, Bruce.
Yeah, that's Dad Moose joke, 1000%.
Okay, so should we get back to stuff here, stuff and things.
This is your show. You could just kick me off the stage and continue if you want to.
I know, but then you could burst right back onto it. See that
I could.
Well, I did think that one back through because I'm like, if he did do that, it's just more entertainment value.
I know this makes the show that much better.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's like when they kick Just J Hip off their shows, and if he happens to be, he keeps unmuting himself. No, go away, Jay. I can't tell if Jay is the punching bag or the court jester of YouTube, but the poor guy. I don't feel bad for him, but yet it's funny.
Well, okay, so where are you in your tale of saga? Because I haven't checked your show notes because I'm sure you didn't put them in the spot that I asked you to so that I could actually view them. You did?
I did.
I
hope I'm doing it right, but I typed some stuff last night.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to actually go and look. But
because I don't have that app on ye old work computer, I did not update it with the breaking news of today that I texted you about.
Well, yes, I got that part. Yeah, I already, and I kind of alluded that I alluded that I knew that part. So,
and not terribly long after that happened, there was Dingus news with the disciplinary stuff.
Oh,
which is why this little document appeared, and he's got a hearing with the presiding disciplinary judge in June through July.
Naughty, naughty.
Yeah, and there's more. There's more. Let's see, is there more here? Now I've got to change some things. Because he made a posting sort of yesterday.
God, he just loves doing that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Where is it? That's the bankruptcy. Okay, yeah, so he's PDJ calendar. The hearing is set for 4 days. I was like, holy shit, what do they need to talk about for 4 days? So he has claimed. God. He has claimed, and now we'll go over here. to the archives, and let me get rid of some of the annoying ads that just constantly pop up with this crap. Because I'd rather go to the archives than someone's actual page, if you know what I mean. You know? We'll actually read this one.
Sure. Okay.
Someone has claimed they've filed for anti-slap motions. And they said that they were going to file it Monday and then probably share it. And, well, then they hopped on the other day and said, well, maybe things have happened. Not good things for him, shall we say. So we'll read this. You know, it's funny because what is this? Here.we.go. I'm surprised he doesn't have an exclamation point.
Here we go. Trying to be young and hip. Just fucking old.
No. And that looks like an emoji of a roller coaster, I think. I don't know. I was trying to figure out. He
loves those emojis. And he puts, like, somehow they end up in the URL, which fucks up, like, when I send the robots, like, i.e. ChatGPT or Claude after this stuff, like, they don't like the emojis in the URL. That's just,
I know.
Or URI, excuse me, because that's what it is.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know why he does it. It's just, it's a him thing. So it says, okay, it is done. It is finished. As if you were Jesus Christ. It is finished. It is done. Lost.
Put yourself up on the fucking cross. Okay, yeah, all right. Let's.
Someone else made a social media posting presenting themselves as Jesus Christ. So, you know what?
God. You're going to make me barf twice, talking about BYU and then that dipshit. God.
It's just another service offer here.
Thanks. Keeps me thin.
Yeah, well, I was just sort of guffawing at the whole thing. No, I didn't do that. And if I did, I was trying to be a doctor.
Yeah, sure, Karen. Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't confess this, but I was watching Dean Withers earlier today, sort of as I was getting the show ready, debating some guy. And I swear the guy might have been Mormon, but he was like from Ghana by way of UK or something, and ostensibly living in Idaho or something to that effect, debating Dean Withers about that Truth Social post.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was just kind of laughing the whole way. It's like, oh, you know, with all the shit going on in real life, this has been a little bit of a lighter day, for which I'm grateful. We had some Christmas presents on Megan Fox's birthday, like Laura Owens having her bankruptcy go bye-bye. Oh, you know, I didn't talk about what that meant for Clayton. It means that things go back to where Clayton was before Laura Owens filed for bankruptcy, which was the what was the dispositive thing on that? Woodnick Law was filing to get essentially the judgment adhered to. The judgment against Laura Owens in the tune of, well, now totaling what? More than $220,000 plus interest?
Oh.
So that tab,
which I'm sure it's still accruing, right? The interest
I have
is still
no doubt.
accruing. Okay.
I don't know the details. I can't imagine a bankruptcy putting a stay on accruing the interest of that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But like I was sharing earlier when I shared my EDM stuff with the live and chat. Despite filing for bankruptcy, no, it does not just go away. It doesn't just vanish when you file for bankruptcy. So things are back to where it was when they were filing for, I can't remember what it's called for the life of me all of a sudden. Essentially just a thing with the court to push Laura into paying them to collect on the judgment. So things go back to that position, essentially. Unless she does something stupid like tries to file for bankruptcy again.
Yeah. See you in a year.
Which you never know. Right. Which you never know. Or as E. Broccoli says, vanishing bankruptcy syndrome. Well, it hasn't quite vanished. Thank God. It didn't just disappear. We at least have paperwork and what's sort of happening behind the scenes there, and that's good.
And if it's all on the internet, it's, it never goes away, right? So
let's see. Wallace says, don't forget his hashtag moment. Oh, yes. I'll just say hashtag yikes. Turdaughter Kashani says, can we file a class action pro-slap motion against him? Well, if we could, I think someone would have tried. There are
That would be
things that
awesome.
people can indeed file against David Gingras in my not so humble, non-scholarly, legal position. I think a number of people, including Clayton Eckert, could go after David Gingras, but that's just my non-professional opinion. He said enough about people alleging things about a lot of people, even to a certain extent myself and this channel. There's not enough there for me to go get him, at least not yet. But you never know. Things could happen. Let's see. There's also language in there that Woodnick and Laura came to an agreement. I think her parents probably paid him 50%. Which agreement are you referring to, I wonder? Oh, maybe that Clayton agreed with the dismissal. I don't see any evidence of a settlement within that, but I don't know. There's no exhibits. There's no additional things. I think there could be the possibility of a settlement because that's, pushing the courts for, golly, I wish I could remember what that was called. It's been enough months and enough has happened with the bankruptcy fiasco that I forgot exactly what Woodnick Law filed on behalf of Clayton to get the judgment, the financial judgment, executed. I just can't remember what it's called all of a sudden. I've talked about it at the time. It's gone. I don't have a whole lot of room. The cubby hole of my mind is over full right now. I thought you'd get a kick into that.
It happens.
Well, it could be like, what was that movie? Flight of the Navigator. We tried to fill your head full of stuff. Well, what happened? It leaked. Yeah, that's about where my head is right now. And looking at lots of possibilities and opportunities should life get more difficult. But never mind. So yes, back to this. Back to douche canoe. Not pregnancy faker, just douche canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
Yeah.
I could talk about the guy who made that soundbite, who's had people filing bar complaints against him for no good reason. More Mormon stuff, but let's not go there. We got too much to do. Okay, so this is from David Jingris. Here we go. Okay, it has done lots of filings today. My anti-slap / motion for summary judgment was filed today with 4 other things. He doesn't say what those 4 other things are, and I'm disappointed. It's like, don't tease us, just tell us. And if you're actually going to share it for God's sake. Oh, maybe I'll share it, maybe I won't. Oh, that's such a tease. He says, just minutes before that happened, the bar judge reissued her decision on Jim Lee's motion for judgment on the pleadings. Congrats, Jim, on the still only partial win for the dark side, he says sarcastically. I will share these tomorrow, probably. And we know what we say about LY words, as Jack Fox says. LY words are suspicious. Probably. That could also be maybe not. Yeah. He says, my niece is here with 4 friends going to the Bruno Mars concert. I was invited, but will only be attending as an Uber driver for the group. Is there alcohol served at a Bruno Mars concert? And he can't be near that? Oh. Another question. If he's the Uber and he's out on bond for his DUI stuff, can he legally drive?
If his license is suspended, I don't know what the state rules would be.
I'm not sure if his license was suspended or I'm not. Now that raises questions. I hadn't thought that far. I have not. Has he confessed to something maybe he shouldn't be doing? I'm not sure. I would have to back up. And review all the DUI stuff all over again and see if something happened that would have suspended him. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe they fought for that not happening.
Maybe there was some hearing or something. I'm sure that was all part of. I don't. Some states are super aggressive about, like, if you get popped for that or even accused, then like your license is toast. But
yeah. Jen the couch phrase says, "Oh, geesh, ginger ass hanging out at a Bruno Mars concert." LOL. Yeah, that's about how I feel about it too. I have concerns about people with I'll say alleged pasts that were not fully criminally convicted, hanging out with lots of young ladies. I have concerns about that.
Wait,
Especially
are
if
we still
all
talking
of
about Jingris or Gingras, or are we talking about
Gingras.
another one that last name starts with
No, we're talking
E?
about him.
Because that
It's
sounds
pronounced gin like you
okay.
drink and grass like you mow.
Okay, because like the way
Talking
that
about
this
him.
was getting set up here started sounding like another creeper dude that like is been in the news again thanks to the Orange Menace's wife. But okay.
Oh God, let's not go there. I don't have the bandwidth for that one. I'm still getting caught up. Have you seen the spoof? I don't know if it was who was it? Colbert maybe, of the Melania spoof. Oh, it was great. That got me to sleep
250
last
some
night
odd
eventually.
words of just like nonsense that you could barely read.
My husband does not want you to know. It was really good. It's like, oh, thank God for some humor in the world right now, or I'd just lose it.
God, no
I would be
kidding. You and me both, my
institutionalized.
friend.
I know.
You and me both.
But no, I'm referring to David Gingras because of his almost, and I say that deliberately, almost criminal past. He was being indicted and he was being criminally charged for sexual assault with him. Well, is that assault? Yeah. Well, more than that, a sexual relationship with a minor. That there's paperwork you can find that on Victims of War Owens under the David Gingras tab. You can read all about where he was being charged with, I think, a number of class 6 felonies for conduct with a minor. And then he fled. He fugitived himself to California and then eventually wandered back. And then the thing got tossed out on prosecutorial misconduct. And I went, well, someone dodged a pretty big bullet. So if you, and again, I've talked about this a few times, this story of his past. You can find all that stuff on Volo, on Victims of Laura Owens. You look in the lawyer tabs, you'll find his name. You can look at that history. You can read the available paperwork that's publicly available, including stuff of some of the victims' testimony. And I don't think I slept that night after reading it. Because it is my opinion that had there not been prosecutorial misconduct and had he not been let off the hook, someone, and if it had all gone out in trial and played according to the facts of the case, which are somewhat in evidence, what I saw, I think he could have been convicted, and I think he could have also been labeled a sex offender with registering and all that whole thing. That's my opinion. That's how I read the facts of that case, even though the case did not conclude. But I think it was headed in that direction. But, it's like, well, okay, someone screwed up being a prosecutor and naughty. Oh, well, now we can't trust all these cases on these people you claim. And, we'll just dismiss everything. I'm like, oh, well, so if it did happen, then that young lady has never seen justice. And I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Someone significantly, well, she would be about our age now, strangely enough, with a guy many years older than her in his late 20s and early 30s, I think at one point, if I'm doing the math correctly in my head. And I think he was her manager at a Taco Bell while he was, or something. That's how I recall it. I may be missing some details. Very inappropriate, if what is alleged is true. Of course, he denies that. He's denied it somewhat emphatically, but based on his conduct that we have seen and how he reacts to women, how he treats women, how he objectifies them in certain ways, especially, all you have to do to see how David Jingris treats women is watch his debate with Rachel Juarez. It's disgusting, in my opinion. These things, and I've said this about Laura Owens too, people like this do not form in a vacuum.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, they don't. They don't just poof, there's this awful person and there they are. So yeah,
there's some genetic predisposition to that, but also environmental. And then, of course, I don't mean to try and drag politics back into this, but like to E. Broccoli's comment and my own, it's like these people are clearly looking to a certain class of people that are providing inspiration for really, really, really poor behavior. And getting away with it because they're seeing other people get away with it. And they're like, oh, well, I'm part of that class, so I can just go ahead and do that too. It's just like, obviously, they're looking to these other people and just like, oh, okay, well,
For sure. IB says Gingy is a raging misogynist, and I would say that's putting it mildly, based
seems
on what I've
accurate.
seen. But yeah, it's certainly very accurate in my opinion. All right, back over to my other screen here. We haven't gotten far, have we? Oh golly, what now? Oh, okay. I'm getting more stuff from the Twitters. More stuff from the Twitters. Love Trapped episode 9 is dropping tonight, folks. And if you're in certain time zones, it's dropping for you right now. If you wish to hear that, I wouldn't blame you. I will be listening to it first thing in the morning as I get ready for whatever my day brings tomorrow. It's been great. I was actually going to play some Love Trapped, but with how we're running tonight, I'm not going to get to it. It's at the end of my tabs, and we're not even there yet.
I have come in and ruined your timeline and plans for things.
As I admitted to before you got here, I would have ruined it myself. And I said you would have been proud. You would have been proud, and you would have razzed on me how I derailed myself for 45 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Kudos to you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's see. He says, just minutes before that happened, the bar judge reissued her decision on the motion for judgment on the pleadings. Congrats, Jim, on the still only partial win for the dark side. He's so saucy. Someone's a little butthurt here, don't you think?
Just a little bit.
David has thought for sure, they've got nothing on me. I've got freedom of speech that's freer than everybody. We've all got the same freedom of speech. There's nothing. Jim's going to dismiss this, and they're going to pay me $250,000 to make me go away. I don't think that's happening. Oh, let's see. Wallace says, got to get to the last paragraph before I go to bed. Well, we'll try. We'll see. And then he's
love all of our Eastern time zone folks, Canada and US. Thank you for hanging in with us.
I backed up too far. And this is where he said he was being the Uber driver, going to the Bruno Mars concert with the niece. And that's where I expressed concerns. Okay, I went back too far. Thus, no blogs, videos other than this quick update. Mm-hmm. Well, if this is quick, okay, I guess for him it's quick. It's not 22 pages.
For now, I think he boasts his quickness and his longevity, much like some people do.
Yeah, never mind. And if it lasts longer than 4 hours, never mind.
If it lasts longer than 5 minutes, they're lucky. But please continue.
That was when I was reading all of the Laura Owens real estate complaints against
something
Clayton
about
Records.
Premature or something. I don't know. Whatever.
That took 3 days. I think. Golly, that in total, that's probably about 6-7 hours of reading. Yikes.
Ew.
He says, for now, know this. The PDJ's rulings on legal issues are, to be candid, not really significant. Yeah, they're so insignificant they have a judge decide some things before it gets reviewed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Who does he think he's fooling? Oh my God. Why? ? Because rulings by the PDJ are subject to de novo review by the Arizona Supreme Court. Well, yeah. Doesn't mean they're gonna. And it doesn't mean that they won't just take the PDJ's recommendations, even if it is brought de novo. At least that's how I interpret how these things work. Again, I'm not a legal scholar or practitioner. I've watched a few bar hearing proceedings recently and went, oh, that didn't go well for them. I'll talk more about him in a second. Because David has aligned himself, or at least he's claimed to have a new friend for someone who's constantly in trouble with the bar and who's waging war on Rachel Mitchell, the Maricopa County attorney, and the bar, and a TikTok that is pretty nasty. And David Jingris is considering this person a friend. Funny
who you surround yourself with in situations like this.
Yeah, this guy who he's kind of calling a new friend. Although he says, well, I wouldn't speak to a judge that way. This guy's dropping F-bombs and other things and being abusive to a judge. And while David Gingras says he wouldn't speak to the tribunal that way, this guy is. But yet he's becoming a friend. I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well for anybody.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
We might have to play some of those TikToks, but not tonight. Because this other guy, his name is Vladimir. Oh, I've lost it. Damn it. Okay, it's gone. I think it's another G name. Anyhow, he goes by Toxic Vlad on TikTok. He's waging war on the bar and the county attorney. And it's not pretty. It's pretty gross. And that guy, this Vlad, he's, and I'll just say it because he self-professes. He claims to be an ardent Trump supporter, a conservative of the most conservative type. He's probably most certainly, as they call themselves, MAGA. He seems like a raging asshole. And he seems abusive and dangerous. He also claims to be a former Marine who was honorably discharged. I'm like, with this kind of behavior, I think you've got some problems, bud. You might have some big problems because you've got some violence issues. Yeah. And that's who David Gingras has discovered recently. Actually, apparently this guy reached out to David and said, hey, you need to watch my stuff. I'm going after them. And I'm like, oh. If David joins this crusade, I will have content for the rest of my life.
You and everybody else.
I mean, the guy will never let it go. It's like stuck in his craw. It's like even if he gets disbarred, even if it's only a disciplinary, you can't practice for X amount of time. It's like this could be stuck in his craw and forever. Oh, okay. So he says, okay, why these rulings are, de novo review by the Arizona Supreme Court. That means it doesn't make any difference what the PDJ says about the law at this stage. I don't agree with that, even as a layperson. Otherwise, there'd be no point. There'd be no point in having a disciplinary judge to start things off. Anything she says about the law does not matter for the Supreme Court. I also disagree. They will obviously look at her take on matters of law. Well, okay, which is it? It doesn't matter, or they will look at her take. It can't be both. Silly goose. But they will decide on their own from scratch what the law actually says. Maybe. So we are moving forward, and I'm happy to work. I'm happy with work put into these things. What? My grammar brain just broke for a second. So we're moving forward.
Yeah, that was a little bit of word soup there.
Putting into these things by my friend. What? Okay, this didn't happen well.
Wow, his ChatGPT
I'm happy with the work.
Just like
we're missing a word. I'm happy with the work put into these things by my friend Mark Randazza. David claims he's
work put into these things. That's not.
He's my bestest buddy.
Yeah.
We're just two best friends, Mark.
He could have worded that a lot better, but it's,
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what we're saying there, but we just forgot a word. He has entered the chat by appearing on my behalf. Has he really? In one of David's previous videos, he said, well, I'm not sure if Mark will. I hope he will. I think he will. Maybe it was far more unofficial. So I don't know. This could be bullshit that Mark Randazza is even involved. We'll see. I consider myself very well versed in this area, says the First Amendment attorney. But I am a mere altar boy. Oh, God.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, poor choice. Poor choice.
Really?
David. Randazza is the Pope of all things First Amendment. Well, he's got quite a big name for himself. And I was tickled when he married the lead attorney of a firm I was looking to work with in New York City. It's like, boy, this world just gets smaller and smaller. Randazza is the Pope of all things First Amendment. And together, we will part the Red Sea and lead everyone to a safe, dry path where the First Amendment is saved from those who would destroy it.
Okay, so neither an altar boy nor the Pope parted the Red Sea.
He's going to war. Ride of the Valkyries.
Just saying.
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit.
God, what a stupid. Have you never seen the 10 Commandments? You utter dipshit.
I shouldn't admit it, but I like that movie.
It's one of the iconic ones, obviously, but
that when I was young.
Good fucking Christ, it was not it wasn't the Pope that parted the goddamn Red Sea, according to
No,
that
it was
lord.
Moses.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if David Gingras is a churchgoer. I suspect not, but he doesn't know
He
his
ought
story
to.
very well. When I was younger, my grandparents, being the good Christian folk they are with were, I should say. They are no longer with us, but my grandfather was a pastor. I don't know why. He was in the military, and then he found Jesus. I kind of wonder if he found Jesus in an airplane engine or under a wing, or I'm not sure.
Was he behind the curtain in the living room? Because that's a pretty common place to find him.
I don't know. I don't know. It was somewhere between World War II and the 70s. He found Jesus and became a pastor. But be that as it may, they had this collection of religious movies, and Ben-Hur was one I watched a lot on VHS, and 10 Commandments was another one. We only had so many choices and a handful of Disney movies to watch.
I have a piano roll of the theme to Ben-Hur, and it is one of the ones that it exercises my amazing instrument to
his Steinway. Everybody. He's talking about his Steinway.
I mean, maybe my Steinway.
Yeah, you need to get another one.
Yes, I also need a. I also need about 7 figures.
I know,
and then I can get the one I want, and then also have an investment fund that's just going to pay the mortgage on my house for the rest of my life. But whatever.
Can I get some of that too?
Depends on your how things play out on your again. Like when I entered the chat here, it depends on your situation and what arrangements we can come to.
Yeah, situationships are always a thing, aren't they?
Well,
and the last
I'm
paragraph.
much more flexible than you give me credit for.
Never mind. And the last paragraph. For those who are still hanging on for the very end, we're trying to get to bed.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Mark is pulling quadruple duty, as always, butt kisser, while he helps me and also fights for other victims of government oppression. See Randazza.com, and then he links. I didn't look at this stuff.
Help, I'm being oppressed. Just the Monty Python scene just comes back to mind. Help, I'm being repressed.
I haven't seen that in so long. I forgot about that. I haven't seen that in so long. Call me Randazza. The bar is oppressing me, being abusive to people. Oh my Lord. So there you go. There's
Jesus Christ.
There's the bar update of Dingus. Oh my gosh. Let's see. How much else do I want to cover tonight? I'm starting to run out of steam. It's been over 2 hours. I was going to go to Love Trapped next because the deposition, what little audio we've got from Laura Owens is juicy. And it's unheard stuff unless you've been listening to Love Trapped.
I have not.
Well, let's go here. Let's do this.
Do you have a little snippet? Because I feel like we're well over 2 hours at this point. Our lovely friends in chat that are on the East Coast or Eastern time zones are suffering to stay awake for this. So maybe we can do a little tease, and then we can find another time to properly unpack.
I've got it queued up to a certain spot, and we can go until we either want to call it or finish it off. But it's worth listening to, and hopefully Love Trap doesn't come get me now that I'm cashing in on breadsticks.
Look, if we're just gonna sit here and analyze it and listen and react, I think we're gonna be just fine. So we'll keep no full screen.
You aren't listening to the Love Trap, and I'm disappointed. But the effort and research, they've been researching this for a year and a half before producing it, is blowing people's minds. They're like number 1 on the podcast charts right now for this whole thing. It's epic. It's absolutely epic. And Stephanie Young, who Schnitzel Ninja has had after each episode on her channel, doing inside the edit. So we're getting kind of the behind the scenes after each episode on Schnitzel's channel. We're getting little other nuggets and little sort of previews of what's next. And it's almost a little game. We get 3 emojis from Stephanie about what the next episode is about. So it's a little game we're playing too. I'm enjoying it. And just the production of it, because I like doing production stuff. I mean, that's why I'm here. I do it, and I do okay. The production of it is amazing. The storytelling and research is amazing. Thanks.
Good night, EB.
You're lovely. We'll see.
Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Until then, pleasant dreams, happy stuff, all the good things. But no, this podcast is just going gangbusters, and I'm happy for that. I doubt I will ever be in on this, but Schnitzel's appeared on it. Dave Neal's appeared on it. Megan Fox has appeared on it. Woodnick has appeared. Deanna Arena has appeared. Even some others of Woodnick a lot. So, I mean, it's very thorough. Very thorough. So far, both the guys have been talked about. Mike Maricini has been a guest, and they've covered his story. Greg a little bit. So this is a very, very thorough podcast of all of this stuff. Well, most of this stuff. There are some people further in Laura's past who have chosen not to get involved because they don't. I don't blame them, I suppose. They don't want her looking in their direction. So one of the victims is pretty protective about it and issues threats to people trying to enter his sacred space that was violated by Laura Owens.
It's like, it's a strategic decision to not get involved, right? So, yeah.
And he's a person of some degree of affluence and influence, so he's guarding that quite judiciously. It's like, okay,
well, especially since like there's a money grubbing like bitch whore cunt that's like involved with this, right? But
I would say a gold digging one, but she hasn't succeeded in digging much gold, and
nor not for her lack of trying anyway.
Well, at least with bankruptcies, people trying to collect the gold.
Yes, can't exactly squeeze any juice out of a rock, but hey.
I think David Jingris said something to that effect. There is no money. You will get nothing from her.
Yeah.
Yet her parents are taking care of her. So obviously there is some money. We can start sucking away from daddy's pension and sucking away from mommy's social security.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are mechanisms for which they could do those very things. Whatever incoming money source is paying any bills at all, what little they get paid, I think is what I want to say, because they've got all this credit card debt and mortgage debt and debt up the ass and the yin-yangs. I don't know what that means, but it works.
Well, you get credit card debt, and take it from Jeep Daddy's experience. If you only pay the minimum balance on a rather hefty credit card bill, it adds up very quickly. Okay?
Yeah. Tradata at Kashani also says, I can't believe this a-hole is praising the First Amendment. The same a-hole who threatened every YouTuber for saying mean things about him. Yes, and David Gingras more recently made a big threat to Megan Fox, saying, Megan, you better watch your mouth. I'm going to get you in federal court, blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe not. It's like, feckless loser. Either do it or don't. Don't do this.
Shit or get off the goddamn pot.
Fisher cut bait, as my dad would say. Tradarashi says, Andrew Daza should be ashamed of himself for representing Jingris. We don't know factually that.
Is he actually representing, though? Like, I think he's advising or at least aligning, but.
David is making those claims, but I have yet to see anything that suggests anything is being written, or maybe he's poking at Randazza a little bit. It's like, can you help me with this? Can you, what if you were to, what would you do with this? And what would you say? I don't know. It's not clear. David is claiming such, but in a previous video, David says, well, I hope I can get Mark to help me with this. I mean, it was far more distant. So I'm not convinced that Mark Randazza is actually involved in his disciplinary hearings. I think Mark Randazza has far more to do than deal with David Jingris being stupid and getting in trouble.
Oh, so you think that Gingras is just basically like invoking his name without any proper?
Well, no, that's never happened before. Oh, Donald Trump.
No, that would never happen.
Oh, Nixon. Oh, Trump. Oh, Nixon. Oh, I'm being oppressed.
Where are my pearls? God damn it. Okay.
The famous line from Judge Judy. How do I know you're lying? Your lips are moving. There hasn't been much he has said that is been truthful in his postings and ramblings and so forth. Very little. Yeah. Actually, it may be dangerously close to zero, especially when someone was making factual predictions. We'll never lose this case. Laura will be vindicated. We'll win every appeal, blah, 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 blah. I'll take it to the Supreme Court of the United States even, and I'll win.
Yeah.
Goose eggs.
Robble, 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 robble. Okay. Okay, on with the audio. Let's go.
Okay. Damn it. I've lost my spot. There it is. Okay, share this, share that. This tab. See, now I've got to change all these things. I should have been doing this while you were talking. This thing and that thing.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but click all the buttons now. There you go. All right, here we go. Okay.
Episode 6. It's queued. It's still where I left it. Good. Sometimes things don't happen where you leave them. Here we go. Let's see if the audio works. Come on.
And then to turn around and say, hey, Clayton, I'll walk away from suing you for $1.4 million in exchange for something else was like laughable. And we laughed.
That's Greg Woodnick.
Laura's deposition was scheduled for 8 a.m. on March 1st. This was the moment where she would have to answer for everything related to the alleged pregnancy, on the record. Greg Woodnick was ready.
It's in my office in Phoenix, and a videographer and a court reporter, and she showed up, and I had my associate Isabel with me, and Isabel's job was to control the media and exhibits.
That's who I left out. Isabel Rainey. God bless Kurt. Sorry. Sound of Music reference. Isabel's always kind of doing the media stuff. She did the media stuff at trial too, but I think she's a licensed attorney. But I guess somebody's got to push all the buttons and bring up all the things. So power to her. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. It's weird. Maybe because she hasn't cross-examined Laura Owens. I would love to see all the lady attorneys just go at it with Laura Owens and just cross-examine her until she cries herself into anemia. I don't know.
Or just loses her fucking mind. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got a little bit of that at the June 10, 24 trial. Oh, it's true. I can't go on. Oh, Judge, can we stop this for a minute? Okay, we'll take our break. Okay, sorry.
Anyway. Even though Laura showed up for Clayton's, he had no intention of showing up for hers.
For me, showing up would show that she had me caught up. I can't do anything else right now. I was like, no. I want my life to look like this little thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll come in for my deposition, but for hers, forget it. You're not going to catch me there.
Would you raise your right hand for me now?
And surveys.
Laura was sworn in, and the deposition got underway.
This is good.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Woodnick started out with a question, not about her alleged pregnancy, but about The Bachelor. In his discovery, he'd gained access to hundreds of emails and texts between Laura and Clayton. When Laura had first met Clayton, she admitted to him in a text, quote, "I know you were The Bachelor, but I don't watch the show. Sorry."
Boo. We know that to not be
completed
true.
An application for The Bachelor or Bachelorette, yes or no?
I don't know if I completed it. I know I shot a video, but I think it has multiple parts that I didn't do.
Laura admitted that she started an application to go on the show. We don't know for which franchise, but it stands to reason that if she was applying, she'd probably watched the show before. My reporting uncovered a second, even more glaring contradiction to her statement that she didn't watch The Bachelor. This 2014 clip is from her father's radio show.
I covered this.
So as I said more than once, Ron Owens, KGO Radio, I live in a house. Well, it's an estrogen house. I've got 2 daughters. I've got a wife. And so the Bachelor is something that is never missed in our home.
I pulled that very same audio clip when I talked about other stuff family were doing. When Laura and Mommy Dearest were on Jordan Belfort's podcast, The Wolf of Wall Street, I pulled a bunch of audio and stuff from that. I covered this audio. It's like, these people are all in cahoots. The family is heavily involved in her schemes.
This is an estrogen house, so the Bachelor's never missed. Like,
what? This guy. I mean, his hands are not clean. Let me make that perfectly clear. His hands are not clean in any of this. However, can you imagine with these crazy women? I can't imagine.
I'd probably just end it and like go on to my next experiment. But yeah.
I can't help but wonder if Parkinson's that he has and has dealt with for a couple decades helped or hurt the situation. I ponder that a lot.
I don't know. I mean, it's not mental declining, or it's not Alzheimer's or dementia. It's just inability to do things. So it's like your mental facilities are still there. So, I mean, maybe he just maybe he just ran out of fucks to give because he's got other things to worry about, like actually being able to feed himself or something. I don't know.
Like trying to walk or something. Or, because you start losing motor function, you start having some speech function issues. Parkinson's is a difficult thing, and it's degenerative over time. So, not fun stuff.
Woodnick continued the deposition, moving on to the striking parallels between Clayton's case and Greg Gillespie's.
Just to be clear, you suggested to Greg Gillespie that you would get an abortion if he agreed to date you.
I didn't suggest it. It was more, he originally had suggested it.
Laura, that's the exact same thing that you did with Clayton, correct?
No.
Yeah.
I will remind you here that in an email to Clayton on June 25th, 2023, Laura wrote, quote, "I will not consider an abortion if you don't want to date and see if God brought us together for a reason." Then again on July 1st, Laura states in an email, "You can't say you haven't been given a voice when I have told you that I will have an abortion if we try things out for a few weeks and have a good reason for aborting a child." Woodnick pressed her on this.
You didn't ask Clayton to continue dating you and discuss abortion with him if he continued dating you.
I said I wanted us to make the decision together and to spend 2 weeks together.
Which is Clayton, date me for 2 weeks.
But it's not date me and I'll have an abortion.
Well, that's exactly what it is. That's what you said in the email.
No, it wasn't date me and I'll have an abortion. It was I wanted to figure out how he would be as a father.
And you don't think that email is eerily similar to what you just discussed sending to Greg Gillespie?
No, I think the situations were very different.
Wallace, thank you again for the Canadian 10 pesos.
Thank you so much.
Wallace says,
have a good night.
Wallace says, last dip into the Canadian pesos for the occasion of your first monetized stream. Perhaps this will cover one breadstick or Indian chicken nugget. Thank you so much, Wallace. Love you.
Very, very kind. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much. I don't know. How much more do you want to hear? Would you like a little more?
Just maybe a little more tease.
Oh, okay, a little more. It goes on for another 30 minutes, but we don't have to do that.
We don't have to do the entire bit, but let's find a nice stopping point.
Let's see. I think it meanders to some other themes, but the deposition part, which we've never heard before. So only Stephanie Young and the Love Trapped podcast has gotten their grubby fingers on this deposition of Laura Owens before the paternity hearing. God, they're good. I think it's a 3-hour deposition or something like that, which seems ungodly long to me. So they really dug into stuff.
Woodnick then turns to the ultrasound video Laura emailed Clayton.
The still that I'm showing you is dated September 5th, 2023. That says it's from Smile. Do you see that?
Yes.
Smile refers to Southwest Medical Imaging, a medical practice that does ultrasounds in Arizona. You'll be hearing that name often when it comes to Laura's ultrasounds. Woodnick pulled up the ultrasound video she'd sent.
Okay, is this yours?
This is not mine.
Hang on for a second. This is an email from you to Clayton, correct?
Yes.
You sent Clayton an email on October 6, 2023, correct?
Correct.
And you said, here is my 100,000,000% real video.
100 million
attached
percent.
a video, correct? Yes or no?
That's my email. I truly don't.
Laura, does it have your name on it?
It has my name on it. I don't even see what email address it's from.
Hang on for a second, and I'm going to remind you again that you're not really supposed to be dishonest in depositions.
I'm well aware.
If you pulled up your sent account and you looked at October 6, 2023, in an email exchange from Clayton, and you saw in your sent account that you attached this ultrasound image, you would agree you sent it then, correct?
I'm positive I did not send this ultrasound video.
Is this ultrasound yours?
It is not my ultrasound.
It says it's from Smile.
But it wasn't the same date. It wasn't the same date. I was asked the same question by Dave Neal if this was mine, and I never, when he was trying to think he could trap me, and I've never said this was mine.
He could trap me.
Laura, whose is this?
It's not mine.
Yeah, but in October, is your suggestion that Clayton, like Greg, faked an ultrasound?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that people have commented online that my passwords have not been changed in more than 3 years on Discord, and I don't know what has happened with my
not an
email.
excuse.
You're under oath.
That's not an excuse.
Do you need to make a Jeep Daddy comment about that further? Unless she's telling them, how would they know she hasn't changed her passwords?
But that's like, you can't, let's see. I don't want to get into any legal hot water here.
Yeah, no, be smart.
I'll try. It's been a long couple days.
Then you know,
there's
brevity being the better part of valor. You don't have to say much.
All I'll say is that just because your password was not changed does not mean that you're innocent or not responsible for what's going on there. And
no,
you would have to further explain that there's some degree of and proof that there is compromise or some other nefarious act. Like, if you really want to go down that path, the logs exist of when and where you logged into your account. So from my perspective, bring it. You want to try and say that your password was leaked and put on another site and somebody's saying that as you? Cool. Bring the fucking receipts. Let's go.
She liked to blame Greg Gillespie for hacking into everything. That was her excuse. He was her scapegoat for everything that couldn't be explained digitally. Things that came from her accounts and from her devices. Oh, Greg hacked into everything. It's him. It's
he
him.
Hacked into my phone.
He did it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, prove it.
Yeah.
Prove that your password had been changed 3 years ago rather than 2 weeks. Because that time and date stamp exists. So, yeah. Stop. Just stop.
As Kara rightly points out, she's deflecting from answering the question. Yes.
Oh, of
very
course.
much so.
Yeah. 1000%.
She's doing a tap dance like nobody else can, at least verbally. It's not very skillful, but she's got no proof of hacking either. Also true. Let's see, a few more minutes, and then I think we can call it a night.
All right.
You're just going to deny that you ever sent this email, yes or no? Pick your battle. Is it yours or not?
This is not my ultrasound. No, it's not.
No, that's not the question he asked.
Recap.
Did you send
Laura
the
now
fucking email?
claims the ultrasound video.
Yeah. Well,
God
that's how
damn it.
her brain. That's how her brain has to lie to skirt around it. And she's right. It's not hers. She stole them all. As far as we can
it's
tell.
not hers. But that's not the question that the guy asked.
Exactly.
God fucking damn it. God, she's so stupid. She's
I
so
pulled this
dumb.
weed out of your pocket. That's not mine.
Oh, that's not mine.
It's in your pocket. That's not mine. It's in your pocket. That's not mine.
That's not my weed. But did I pull it from your pocket? But that's not my weed. No.
It's the same thing.
God, you're so far. Oh my God. The level of dumb. I can't even.
The levels of dumb.
Though she emailed Clayton wasn't hers. She also claims she never sent the email at all, even though she'd emailed Clayton on the same day before and after this from the same email account. Then Woodnick asked about the inconsistencies on the ultrasound.
Exhibit number 9 is from Scottsdale Medical Labs. This is an ultrasound dated July 7th, 2023.
Yes,
Okay. Is that your name on the top and your birth date next to it?
that is my name and birthday. Yes.
Okay. And this is the ultrasound that you received at Smile that was presented in the prior proceedings, correct?
Yes, it was. It was. But this was actually at Planned Parenthood.
Okay, I want to make sure I clarify that. Let's start off with the basics. On Exhibit 9, is this your ultrasound?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go into a Smile facility, because it is earmarked Smile, to get this ultrasound?
I did not.
Where did you get this ultrasound?
Planned Parenthood in Mission Viejo.
Okay, so I don't know Mission Viejo well, but is what you're suggesting that Scottsdale Medical Imaging has a branch in Mission Viejo, California?
No.
I'm totally confused here. I'll give you a chance just to explain how there's a Scottsdale Medical Imaging ultrasound that you claim came from Mission Viejo, California.
There's not. This was actually taken in Mission Viejo. This was not taken at Smile.
Why does it say Smile on it?
I did change the top of that from Planned Parenthood to Smile because I didn't want him to contact a doctor at Planned Parenthood.
I'm showing you real clearly the ultrasound image that you are admitting to having changed information on. Is that true?
Just the top left. Yes.
This was a jaw-dropping moment. Under oath, Laura admitted to doctoring a medical record. She says she's changed the name of the doctor's office, and that's it. But her admission opens up a world of possibilities. If she altered this, did she alter anything else? Now her credibility and the credibility of her ultrasounds was in question. The significance of this admission.
Yes.
Please pause this. Okay.
Should we stop there? Is that enough?
That's probably enough because I'm just my fucking brain is going to explode if we keep up with this between everything I've heard today, like during corporate daddy bullshit and this.
No.
Okay, so if you didn't want, you dumb bitch, you stupid dumb bitch. If you didn't want, if your purpose for changing that document was to prevent somebody from reaching out to the doctor, why then not just redact things instead of altering it and making it seem like it came from another clinic?
Because that's not how persuasion campaigns work. You have to lead them. You have to breadcrumb them the way you want them to go. The ducks will not follow rocks. You have to put the breadcrumbs there.
I mean, when I send things to certain entities, I use the little redact tool on my computer to avoid my little, address from being sent, because I can do that. Or that's valid. Like, they don't need that to prove that I bought a thing. So why then, if that's, I don't understand that kind of logic. That's just so hard for me to conceive of.
It's self-preservation logic because we're trying to sell a story and we have to make evidence so that the story seems plausible. Not make it true. She was only trying to make things seem believable enough to breadcrumb in a certain direction. But falsifying medical records is still a crime.
Yes,
because there's that.
You fucking faked it. You falsified it from, according to her, changing it from Planned Parenthood to Smile. That is altering and faking the fucking document.
And it's not even her fundamental ultrasound to begin with.
This
picture here. I'll put my name on it so they believe it belongs to me. And then, see, Clayton, here's my 100% million% ultrasound.
100 million %.
Totally
Don't forget, Echoes. It was
look,
100
it's twins.
million%.
These funny little dots around here prove I'm having twins.
Look, I understand that, like, living there's a lot of nuance in the world. This is one of those kind of binary things of, like, is it true or is it false? And it's like, there's no nuance to be had here. It's either the document and the image is accurate and it's yours. Did you send it? Yes or no? It's just like, God damn it. I just,
Yeah, I know. See, this is not new to my brain. We're very used to this.
I know. And it's not new to mine either because I deal with this bullshit inside of the information security world. You either hacked the system or you didn't. You either did what you claim that you did or you didn't. And it's like, just that there's sometimes there's nuance, sometimes there's not. But like in this case, did your password change within the last 3 years? Yes or no? That's very easy to determine. Like send a fucking, like, do a digital, not a screenshot. Screenshots can be manipulated. You do what they call a digital escort, which is you do a screen share that's recorded and you actually present the screen to somebody else that shows, gee, my password was last updated on this certain date. Oh, here's the sign-in logs from all of this. Also do it digital escort because screenshots can be fabricated. Look, here's a live view onto all of that. Like, it just doesn't. The investigation / incident responder part of me just has this allergy to this.
Yeah,
so strong because this is just like, did you do this or not? And she can't even fucking do that. Like, I don't understand the defect in her fucking brain about this.
No one does. No one does. We don't have any explanations for that yet. I think we may eventually. I'll talk more about that as we wrap up. Ms. Wing says Clayton couldn't call and get her information anyway. HIPAA. True. But even when they did, and she signed HIPAA releases, and they went to Planned Parenthood, and they went to Scottsdale Medical Imaging Labs, and they went to all the things she had claimed she had gone to, they found what, folks? 0 goose eggs. Yeah. They figured it out really fast. They really did.
Because
they could have taken
sort
a
of
lot longer
thing,
to figure it out.
It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. If you're going to lie like this and lie so egregiously, it's not going to hold up.
And even things like when Laura took one of the ultrasounds and had something done and went through Fiverr. She hired Fiverr. She hired Fiverr. And the logo, the watermark, was still embedded in the image, but it was hard to see with all the digital stuff of the ultrasound. And that was one of the epic days on YouTube, and I was in the chat for that, where Megan Fox and Dave Neal live figured out what this funny little thing that looked like it was text in this weird part of the image. What does that say? Heaven? Yeah. It says Fiverr. And live on air, Dave Neal takes the logo of Fiverr and he brings it in and starts lining it up. And look, there it is. And you can't unsee it. Bitch was so cheap, she didn't even pay the Fiverr guy to put her name on the picture.
Yeah. And probably was part of the bankruptcy filing, probably, that got thrown out because she's fucking stupid. But okay. I don't know. Yeah. My brain is so cooked, and that my liver is pretty soaked right now that I just can't. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, this is. Boy. I need them.
Danny says, you should have heard Reality Steve's podcast back in the early days. He was so frustrated with the same disconnect on what should be simple evidence. Yeah, it's true.
Unreal.
Steve. Dave too. Dave was in it. He was the legal eagle, just trying to find he was turning over every rock he could find. And I don't blame him because crazy lady tried to go after him for a lawsuit for what was $100 million, just surreptitiously too.
Jesus Christ.
And that's when David Gingras did not endear himself onto many people. When he said, Laura's going to sue Dave and win and graze her horses on Dave's land where his house should be, or something like that.
Oh God!
It was disgusting.
Was he taking cues from like the Bundy clan?
Probably.
Up in fucking crazy ass Idaho / northeastern Washington or whatever.
And this was before David got super nasty and violently graphic and saying things about Omar's wife and kids and Dave's wife and kids.
Oh God!
It got ugly and disgusting. I covered that a little bit. carefully because it was so gross I didn't want to over-platform it. But he did. He got absolutely horrific. And if either of them had wanted to get together, they could have sued the shit out of him then. But no one did, sadly.
That's too bad. Might
have been a losing battle. He probably would have filed for bankruptcy too. And then, I don't know. We don't know. It didn't happen, but it could have. It still could. There are people that could still sue him. There are still people that could sue her for all the bullshit she's said and done. This may not be over.
But what are they going to? But what are they going to get out of it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The major creditors like the banks and Clayton Eckert are going to be in the front of the line, I think. So,
yeah.
Anyone comes along later, you're going to be playing third fiddle to much bigger fish who have bigger stakes.
They're just going to end up liquidating. If it were me, I would be.
They could get something out of the house.
Well, it's okay. So that's where I'm going. I feel like what's going to end up happening is they're going to liquidate the house, liquidate all of the assets, pool that all together, and then.
As I recall, they're underwater on the house quite a bit.
But they're going to proportionately give out that money to and the proceeds from all of these things that they have.
Horses are gone, cars gone, any furniture they own could be gone. They could be left with zilch.
Even the black chair.
People are going to be fighting over that damn black chair. I swear to heaven. I want the black chair. No, I want the black chair. No, I want the black chair. Oh my God. Megan, you've already got a black chair. You don't need another one.
I want that black chair.
I'm being silly. I know
I want that black chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there's, y'all may think very negatively of me by thinking this, but
just don't overly demonetize me. That's all I'll ask. Otherwise, I can't pay for your chicken nuggets.
I don't know those rules, and you're going to pay for my chicken nuggets anyway. But
it'll be worth it because I'll get some chicken nuggets too.
That's true. I just feel like there's certain people that don't need to exist in this plane of reality.
It'll be very interesting. We were talking earlier about after talking about the bankruptcy stipulated motion to dismiss. So does that mean she's going to take a plea deal, or is she going to keep kicking and screaming? What's going to happen? What does it mean? What does it mean?
If we were in the holodeck, I'd just be like, "Hey, computer, remove this character. Just delete."
You're vicious.
I am. I again after
life
the couple,
is not a holodeck.
After the couple 3 days that I've had, my dear friend echoes.
You can tell me a little bit more later. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I know we've got a little catching up to do. It happens.
A little. Sounds like we've got a lot.
Yeah,
you've been holding back on me.
Well, I was hoping some things would have been resolved by now, but that's not yet the case. But never mind.
Anyway,
never mind. Have you had enough? Have you had enough?
I don't know.
Are you screaming for mercy? Are you begging for mercy?
I don't know anymore. I'm half sleep deprived at this point. I have no idea what's going on.
Chat, he is so cooked. I think he's done.
Maybe pretty much. I think we're probably need at that point to wrap. So I'll let you do that.
Let's see. Yeah, Danny says that's why I get so frustrated when people talk about how maybe David is just a dodo brain who's a really fun guy. I saw the nasty things he did to Dave, Lauren, and others. Yeah, I'm smaller collateral damage and all that. He fired some shots calling me things and in my direction. Lauren got the brunt of it. Ducky was the other one in that filing at San Francisco as part of the DVR stuff. I was named in it. Ducky was named in it. Lauren, was heavily named in it, and he accused Lauren of committing crimes and being the queen of darkness and being a cult leader and a bunch of other things. He didn't stop there. There was more that happened later, but the man has no impulse control, sort of like Laura Owens has no impulse control.
Kind of like Elo doesn't either. But,
there seems to be some pathology, some lying pathology that exists in different quantities for both of them, in my not so humble opinion. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Danny goes on, not just what he said, but strategically times on their baby moon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was out for more than blood. He was just vile. And I would imagine if Dave were made of more money, he'd probably blow some and just go after him legally too. And I think he would have won. Maybe he
I mean,
still
I
will.
feel like it
I don't
might be
know.
a valuable investment of some Jeep Daddy dollars to go out and actually vie for and buy said black chair.
Yeah. Carol Key, who I've got to tell you more about because you weren't here when we were talking. Carol says to Danny, right? Dave and David. Don't get them wrong. Dave said he was so stressed out, but tried to pretend things are fine for Tasha's sake. Felt so bad. Jingris effing sucks. Yes. Caro, whose husband is an attorney, said there are still avenues for which Laura Owens could be brought up on charges for lying in the bankruptcy and filing false bankruptcy stuff and so on and so on.
Much like people that I work for and around, it sounds like they that Elo and her cohort here have fucked themselves directly into a corner.
Yeah. So, as Carol was sort of suggesting via her attorney husband, even though it was dismissed, there are still avenues she could be prosecuted for what happened in the bankruptcy stuff. We'll see. Yeah.
Go for it.
Danny also says he's unhinged. I think he's dangerous. I don't disagree. And it's disturbing that they let him push his DUI hearing over and over. I agree with that as well. Laura, Lauren, David, Dave. Yeah, I know.
I made that mistake. I totally own my errors. Lauren, Laura, blah, blah, blah. That's,
even when
why
you're
just
thinking the
go
right
with Elo.
Even when you're thinking the right one, sometimes the wrong one comes out. It's just the vowels. The vowels are too close.
English is a bitch.
Lauren, Laura.
Yeah.
It becomes a problem. It's occupational hazard.
Yes.
I think on that note, we should get out of here.
Probably let our friends get some sleep. Please do all the needful for my friend Echoes here and hit the like, subscribe. Thank you so much for all the comments.
Eventually,
and
the hype
super
button will
chats.
appear. I think there will be a hypes because now we get super chats. Yes, and again, thanks to everybody for the warm welcome with super chats. Bless you all. We will put it to good use. I've got to figure out how I can legally spend things, and if I have to pay taxes, well, we'll work it out. I don't even know how I receive super chats yet. I have no clue. I don't know if YouTube writes me a check or what happens. Don't know. We'll figure it out.
They probably take like 80% of it, and you'll get like 12
I'm
cents.
sure they do. I think it's 30% or.
I don't know, but it's something probably ridiculous. But yes.
Eventually, I'll pivot and do a Megan Fox. Thanks, Megan, for the idea, and get supertips.gg and use AI voices, and they only take 10%, unlike YouTube, which takes a whole crap ton more. So it's like AI voices is a lot of fun in Megan's lives. People use it a lot. You're gonna have to come up with a lot of voices.
Look, there's a lot of ways to contribute to the cause, even if that is in the form of, sending a friend a Venmo or some Cash App, that sort of thing.
All
like,
those
there's ways
everyone
to
does
do
them
it.
all.
It's fine. Yeah.
But
I'll that doesn't mean that Echoes is not grateful for said super chats and all the things. So definitely do the things to manipulate this algorithm to push this further forward.
Because we won't rest until there's a sentencing.
Sure, I might. I'm going to sleep in, and I'll catch up with you later.
Well, I mean, at some point, the topic will have to change from Laura Owens, but that won't happen until after she's sentenced.
It doesn't look. This doesn't seem like that's going to end anytime soon, given all this bullshit that's going on.
Well, with her attorney trying to back up and look at probable cause.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's trying to go all the way back.
It just keeps on giving.
I know.
Yeah.
Not to belabor it further, but our psychic girlfriend, Robin Richardson, was talking about this lately and talking about Laura's criminal defense attorney, Christian. Aside from the guy being, dashing and debonair, was pontificating about, this is about structure. Because the guy's backing up. He's going all the way back to saying, is there even probable cause to bring all these felonies against Laura Owens? So he's trying to look for additional things. Strategically, legally, in the case building to see if there's ways to wiggle her out of it. I also suspect we might be hearing about some stuff via mental health experts about Laura Owens at some point in time. Other possible defenses.
Bring it. Please.
I am here for the claims of Laura's crazy. It's a medical condition. She can't help herself. That's why she commits these crimes. It's like, that's not going to work. Not in front of a jury either, I don't think. It's a choice.
It's a choice. That is
She's
a
insane.
choice.
She's criminally insane. I don't think that's an option. I don't know what it would be, because there's enough evidence that she knew and knows what she was doing is wrong. So I don't know. This is going to get more interesting as we get closer.
Well, why don't I go ahead and excuse myself, and I'll let you wrap the show. Thank you so much for letting me crash the party here a little bit, folks. It's great to have joined for the last little bit.
And thanks, Carol, for the words of encouragement. Yeah. I think we could all use them right now. Be they us, be they not us. Everyone's got things. They've got.
There's some stuff. Like,
it's just
life's hard right now. Okay, just like
it is.
Take a minute to just be as have as much grace with yourself and with things as you possibly can.
Yep, exactly. Sometimes that's hard to do, especially with the way my mind works. Okay, Jeep Daddy will excuse himself.
I'm out. Bye.
And that leaves it to me. I don't have much more to say with him gone now, other than thanks again, everybody, for joining us this evening. This another long one, 3 hours on the dot. Holy hell. And thank you again all to you super chatters. Bless you all again. And I'm tickled. I thought, if I get one, that's a win. I didn't think there'd be that much generosity. So I'm humbled and honored. And we carry on. It helps encourage me. I'm going to use somewhat to pay for StreamYard, I think, that kind of thing. StreamYard's not cheap. And it has issues sometimes, but it's important to use it so we can have guests on like Jeep Daddy. So we'll use it smartly. That is definitely my pledge to you. And if I get big enough to be able to grift for birthday money or massage money or that sort of thing, or acupuncture money, as I'm also seeing in chat, then that's, a perk. But we're not there yet. But should we get there, it'll be that much the sweeter for all your generosity. And we'll see where it goes. Danny says you'll do even better when it's not Megan's birthday. I know. After I remembered that, oh gosh, she's going to have a big blowout on the same day. Is this going to even, am I blowing into the wind, But I'm like, you know what? I've already scheduled it. I already planned it. I wanted to have a little fun and try and decompress a little bit and share some time with you all because you're all lovely. I just decided to go ahead with it and just let the chips fall where they may. And people can always join the replay crew, which we love as well. So that's fine. And we carry on and we see where this craziness leads us, both in real life and in this real life on the YouTubes. So until next time, folks, again, hit all the buttons, hit the notification bells. If you've got the hype, finally, at long last, I would be honored as I smack my camera around. Honored at your hyping of this channel as well as you get them. You don't get all of them all at once. No, wait. I think you get 3 hypes a day, someone else said. I'm trying to remember. I'm learning. This is all new to me. All these things, they keep adding and changing. But good night to you all. I will play you out with That's a Criminal. Daddy, I'm a Real Criminal Now, or whatever the hell I call the thing. So as we close it out, thanks again. And we'll see you next time, folks. So until then, good evening and good night.
He struts in silk ties and courtroom deceit, with a grin that don't blink when he lies through his teeth. Once played the lawyer, now plays the fool. Got a taste for danger and bends every rule. He took Laura's hand, said, I'll make you a queen. But they danced through indictments behind the legal machine. a felon's affection, a scandalous vow, their headlines in motion. Just look at them now. Oh, Daddy, you taught me to twist and deny, to smile while the truth just passes me by. I learned from the best, your ethics are foul. Look at me, Daddy, I'm a real criminal now. His license got clipped, just a slap on the wrist. He's kissed more subpoenas than lips he's missed. He cries free speech while the courtroom burns, but justice keeps count and karma returns. You said, don't worry, sweetheart, they never catch up. Now I sip lies like gin from a tarnished cup. Oh, Daddy, you taught me to twist and deny, to laugh while the innocent wave us goodbye. You made me your mirror, ain't you so proud? Look at me, Daddy, I'm a real criminal now.